You ever ask a man how he's doing and he says, I'm alright. I'm here to tell you, that man is not alright. That man is battling demons that you cannot even possibly imagine. That man is struggling every single day to find a reason to keep going. And the reason we say we're alright is because as a man, nobody really fucking cares what you're going through. So why even bother to say it? But you know what? I feel you, brother. Because, I'm alright too.
A lot of men don't have these conversations. They suffer in silence, especially being a provider, because you taught that you gotta do this. And I meet so many men in the gym that are depressed. And they tell me, man, Kevin, what did you do? I tell them I started learning to love the stranger that was once myself.
Couple little videos there to start the show. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Nonsensical Nonsense, the weekly bro check. You know, last week we had Haas in the building with us, kind of sharing his story, and we were talking a lot about men's mental health, and I decided, I want to keep that conversation going with our male friends of the show, with the men who listen to the show. And that's what I want to turn Monday nights into. Brian, you guys know Brian from the show. He'll be my new co-host. He might be popping in here later on tonight. He's got some stuff going on in real life, but hopefully moving forward, he'll be here on a more regular basis, as well as give the opportunity for other guys to come up here and hang out with us and kind of chit chat and this, that, and the other thing. I know I've been getting yelled at for quite some time to do a show like this. I've kind of wanted to do this for a while on Mondays, but you know how hard it is to talk to yourself and nobody else in the room with you trying to talk about some serious shit like men's mental health. It's not very easy.
As a matter of fact, yeah, right here.
I was about to say, I do that shit all the time. Talk to myself.
Yeah, you start talking to yourself and you do it out in public one too many times, and next thing you know, you're locked up in a padded room.
No, man, no, that ain't gonna get you in the padded room. It's when you start to answer your own questions out loud. That's when you're knocking on that padded room there.
No, they can't put me in the padded room if they can't catch me.
I don't think they're gonna have a hard time catching your crippled ass.
Oh, Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
I always make sure I'm on the downhill.
Yeah, right. And like I was saying, welcome to Nonsensical Nonsense. We got Connor in the building hanging out with us. Haas is back again this week, and of course, you guys know me. I'm Glick. I run this here asylum, so to say. Haas in here with the pre-show prep talk.
And I mean every word of that, y'all. I promise.
That gay?
Not a man, but passing through gives support. What's going on, Leggy? You don't have to be a man to hang out here. You don't have to be a man to listen.
It don't really matter. Mental health is mental health, man. If you're here, we're here if you need us,
Exactly. And you guys know the routine. You guys can find us on all social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. We're actually live on TikTok right now. I'm trying this little experiment that I tried Saturday night with TikTok. You can see my phone sitting in front of me, so we're live on TikTok as well.
What a camera whore.
Yeah. We do the show Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook, and then you can listen to us any place, anytime, wherever you listen to podcasts, all that Nonsensical Nonsense. Oh, excuse me. Or you can go down there at the bottom of the screen. There's a link right there, bio.link/nonsensical nonsense. That link is also in all of our bios. You can find all of our social medias and all that fun jazz right there, including links to our sponsors. Make sure you guys, if you check out our sponsors, use our promo code Words Are Hard. Get you a little discount, save you a little money. I got yelled at today for a shameless plug. One of my buddies was saying how much he enjoys Red Bull, and I said, "Why are you drinking that shit? Why don't you get on the W Energy train?" And he was like, "Really, Glick?" Shameless plug. And I was like, yeah, pretty much. I'm just
Shout
saying.
out to everybody in TikTok land too. I ain't forgot about you. Love y'all over there too.
Except for you people who keep getting us banned.
Right. You jackasses can go wherever you jackasses go to.
Yeah, they enjoy getting us in trouble, that's for sure. But anywho, so thank you.
Thank you.
I may not be the most smartest man in the world, and to be honest with you, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just trying to be real. So hopefully that's might be a little bit more beneficial than some talking head with a piece of paper on his wall saying that he went to school so he knows everything about everything. Last week, we had Haas on the show with us, and Haas was kind of sharing some of his personal stories and stuff like that, his early childhood and everything like that. And, Connor shared some stuff about like where he's at health-wise, and I don't know who's got the feedback. It might be Haas. I don't know who's got the feedback. I muted both of them. I muted Haas, and then Connor muted himself. Connor, you got the feedback.
Is it me?
Yeah, I think you got the feedback.
Uh-oh.
Hello. Testing.
Hello.
1 2 1 2.
Yeah, you're good, Haas.
All right, good deal. Good deal.
Might be. I'll get my headphones.
And then Brian was here. We all kind of, just kind of, and I think we're gonna have a lot of that, sharing stories and sharing stuff like that. It's just kind of, unfortunately for us, and I kind of touched on it last week. Unfortunately for us, we grew up in a generation where you don't show emotions, you don't cry, you don't do this, you don't do that, and that's kind of the mindset that's been stuck in our heads.
Right. That kind of thing was the norm, to have the blind eye turned to it.
Exactly. Yeah, everybody's got the echo cancellation off. I make sure that's all off right off the rip. Right off the rippity rip. I say that, and I'll be the only jackass. The echo canceling on.
Well, you said jackass. Well, yeah, that's you. You're the only one, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
and I mean that from the very deepest, darkest, tiniest spot of my black heart. I meant that.
Yeah, no, I always kind of adjust everybody's mics and make sure settings are where they need to be before the show starts. So just sometimes coming off of like a phone or something like that, you get weird echo and stuff like that. But anyways, and Connor, I hope you don't mind me kind of diming you out like this, but right before the show started, we were talking. Connor, you guys know Connor said it enough on the show, and we've talked about it quite a few times. Last year, he went through back surgery, and it turned out to was supposed to be in and out type deal, one day, and it turned into quite a traumatic situation. He wound up being there for 4 days and a lot of complications and a lot of issues and everything like that. And he got some news today that it was it really had a huge delayed effect on you. I mean, and then it just kind of all hit you at once shortly here before the show or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sometimes when you have that kind of an experience, and that's what I told you. I said, ain't nothing to be. I mean, that's a legitimate fear that you have, going back in, even though it's for something totally different, not even related to your back, but that's 100%. You have a bad experience, and I'm terrified of surgery. I'm terrified of going to the doctors. I'm terrified of prescription drugs and everything like that. And I've had a couple not so good experiences with surgeries. Nothing like you went through, but I just don't go to the doctor, man, because every time I think I have to go to the doctors or something, I instantly get this crazy level of anxiety. I mean, even a couple months back when I went to the hospital, Nikki finally made me go to the hospital after like 8 hours of throwing up and shit like that. Aside from that, then my anxiety levels through the fucking roof because I'm like, oh God, what's going to happen now? You know,
you got that white coat anxiety.
hmm.
Get out of the shower, be done, get to the bed.
But I mean, that's a legit fear, which, you know, like you said, you know, caused you to have a full-blown panic attack.
Dude, and I've had panic attacks before. It's never related to something that didn't have to do with the military or didn't have to do with you know, something that happened while I was overseas, and it struck me so hard, so fast. Like I said, I mean, just out of nowhere, because I had my appointment. My appointment was this morning at 9:00. And he was like, you know, we had our discussions like, hey, you know, your options are essentially surgery or surgery. And I was like, oh shit, well, okay, I guess I'll choose surgery. And I got out of the appointment, went grabbed my kids from my brother-in-law's wife, so it's sister-in-law technically. Picked him up, went home. I was fine. My son got home from school. I mean, it's like 3, 4, 5 o'clock. And I was just sitting there and I was thinking to myself, I was like, fuck, I've got to go back under the fucking knife and have zero control over what happens to my body again. Have absolutely no control over what happens. And it doesn't matter how hard you fight. It doesn't matter how hard you try, how hard you work. You have zero control over what happens in that operating room. And when you get out of the operating room, you can do the best you can, but there's a certain point where shit just isn't in your control anymore. And I have a serious, I can admit, I have a serious problem with not having control over my situation, whether it be my body or the way that I'm reacting to something. I was just sitting here and I was thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm going to have zero fucking control. And then I started thinking back to being in that hospital bed. And what little I remember, and going from, oh, I'm walking to the bathroom to, oh my God, I can't feel my legs or use my legs. Oh my God, somebody's carrying me to my bed. My wife showered me in the hospital, which I don't remember. And they had me on so many drugs, dude. I don't remember anything almost. And I'm about to go do that again. And granted, what happened was like a 1 in 10,000 chance.
Driver, do you want to bring me?
But it still happened. And this motherfucker today, like, God love him, and he's a really nice doctor. I like him. He's like, you know, this is your first surgery option. You know, you might be able to walk out with a boot. This is your other surgery option. It requires 8 to 12 weeks, non-weight bearing. You're on crutches, in a wheelchair. You know, that's it. Period. Dot. There is no fiddling with it. And I was like, well, do you think I need that? He was like, no, but there's a chance that the screw doesn't work. And, you know, we got to go in and we got to do this, re-break the bone, pull the screw out, put this, that, and the other, and do this, that, and the other. And I was just like, what do you mean there's a chance? He was like, I mean, I'm not going to tell you like numbers, but like, I don't know, 30, 40% chance that we have to go back in. I was like, 30, 40% chance, dude. I had a 0.0001% chance that what happened to me. And you're giving me 30, 40%, dude. Like I've had bad luck with hospitals lately. What are you doing? And I kept sitting here and I was mulling on it. And all of a sudden I realized, like, I can't breathe. I'm freaking out. I feel like I'm gonna be sick. I'm sweating like a pig. Like I'm pale and I can tell, and I'm lightheaded, and I'm like, oh my God. And I was like, kids, don't hurt each other. Don't do anything crazy. Just sit down and watch TV. I got to go. And I went to my bathroom because I thought I was going to be sick. I just sat in there, and then like 5 minutes after it was over, dude, I cried like a fucking baby, uncontrollably. I was just like, that's
the other thing is, you know, for you know, men in general, we have that natural, we're kind of born with it. We like to have that sense of control. Not like controlling people or anything like that, but a control over things. It comes with that provider, that protector mentality, that gatherer, that hunter type mentality. There's that some aspect of control that we have as men. And when you're going through something like this, or you're facing anything where you completely lose that control, it's kind of it's life changing in a way, but you know, not like, oh my God, I just want to $400 million on the lottery, life changing, or, oh man, I just, wrecked my car and my legs got chopped off. But it's still mentally, it kind of alters your way of thinking. And then it causes that, even though it's something, we're all three having a conversation knowing you got to go in for foot surgery. And it's like, I mean, that's foot surgery. They're probably not even going to put you to sleep for it.
It's a foot. Like, I'll be fine. Yeah. I've had foot surgery before. I already got a screw in my right foot. Like, I've had this exact surgery done before on the other side. The worst part of it is them putting the nerve block in your knee. Like, that's the worst part. And it sucks, but you're fine. You wake up and go on your way. But and then I was sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, motherfucker, that's exactly what I was thinking about when I had my back surgery.
My son is watching live on TikTok, and he came in here to look and see that I was on TikTok and on the computer at the same time. But yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you just that fear of not knowing, I guess you could say, especially after already having that previous experience, which, like we were talking about pre-show was, I remember when you went through that, because I was getting Snapchat videos and I could tell you were on a whole nother fucking planet, man. And I'm like, I'm like, I don't even know how to check and see if he's all right, because I don't know how to get a hold of anybody. I mean, obviously he's in the hospital. Obviously he's high out of his mind, but we talked that morning or the night before your surgery. And it's like, oh yeah, I'll be out tomorrow afternoon. And then the next message I get is, I'm like, what the hell? And it was like, you get a little bit of coherency, oh, my back is way fucked up. It's worse than I thought it was going to be. They don't know what's going on. And then it was a few hours later, the next day or whatever, more mumbling, incoherentness, craziness, and I have to have emergency surgery. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm like, the hell? I don't I'm over here freaking out, because it's like, I don't have any way of getting a hold of like his wife or anything to make her. I'm like, I can only imagine what the hell his poor wife's going through. And then he has no idea what's happening. It's a scary situation, man. But like I said, the panic attack and everything like that's perfectly natural, man, at the end of the day. I'm very fortunate myself. I haven't had one in a while, but those panic attacks they're scary as hell, man.
Yeah.
You wind up losing all control, and you just
honestly lose complete touch with reality. I mean, I did anyway. It was like a whole different level, man. That's about the best way I could put it. Really, it's a scary thing, man. Having the thought that you can do something dumb right like that, and not think twice about it at the time,
Mm-hmm. Exactly. It goes back to that control thing. We're so used to having that capability to be in control, but in that moment, and what may only last a couple minutes, feels like in our heads hours or days.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing. It's like, that makes them so scary, is because
and really the reason it takes 3 days for me really is that one full day before, where you just kind of got that fuck it, I don't care feeling, and then you get that actual day where you hit full 100% manic, and then you hit that day after you start to feel better, and then you gradually heal yourself. It's a 3 to 5 day process, really, for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember the lead up to my back surgery. I wasn't too nervous because we had played it kind of down, I guess. I mean, in hindsight, I mean, again, the chances of what happening were extremely, extremely slim. But we went into it thinking, okay, well, this is not a fusion. This is not that big of a surgery. It's in and out. They're going in, they're taking out some of this disc that's pushing on a nerve, and it's like the smallest level of this surgery that I can get. So, it's not that big a deal. And I remember going in and being in the hospital, like with my gown and everything on, and we're prepping to get me in for surgery and going to the OR and everything. And I remember sitting there and going, I'll be up in a little bit. We'll see you in a minute.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really that anxious. It was just like, all right, well, you know, this kind of sucks. And then sorry,
he
my
ain't
wife
having
just
none of that, is it? He ain't
my
hearing
wife just
not a
got
single
home.
bit of that.
My wife just got home and she walked away, so my daughter's not real happy with her.
Oh
But,
yeah, I wasn't having none of that business.
but then I'm like,
No, you've been gone for like 18,000 hours. Come here and let me love you. You know.
exactly. That's exactly what she does. But yeah, and I remember like 2-3 days after the surgery, or after I should say after I got out of the hospital, talking with Nikki and going, that was fucking crazy. That was absolutely fucking wild. That should not have happened. My surgeon's a dickhead. Fuck that guy.
Right.
Because the motherfucker just, the thing is, he did the surgery and he just left. He didn't come back for a day and a half while I was in the hospital.
What was he? Was he foreign?
No, he's American. I got my surgery done while I was in the military. He was a military surgeon.
Oh yeah, well fuck him then.
Yeah,
You goddamn working on a goddamn hero. Fuck him.
Even more fuck him. He so about 2 months, I want to say, after my surgery was done, the military medically discharged him. And my wife and I were both like, something's fucking up.
Hey, yeah.
And we talked to lawyer after lawyer, and they were all like, we're not going to touch it. Nope, we won't do it. Nope, not going to happen. I was like, fuck you guys, dude. This guy raped my life.
Yeah.
For like,
how many government cares
Chris
about
can
you without telling me they care about you?
Chris can tell you, like, the recovery phase of post-op, because yes, the surgery was traumatic, but like the 6 months post-op, I was using a walker to get everywhere. I had to use a special shitter toilet, and I'm 26, dude. I'm not in my 50s or 60s. I'm walking around like my legs don't fucking work, like a baby giraffe. It's fucking embarrassing. And this guy just gets to go away unscathed, and not a lawyer in the world would touch it.
That's
we called like six different attorneys, and they all said no because it's a quote known complication. I was like, I don't care about the complication. I care about the fact that he just left and didn't come back.
Yeah.
And
he knew that he fucked up and then he dipped out.
And if he would have waited another 12 hours, I might not be walking, period.
Mm-hmm.
I still have issues with my right leg not working. Like, I fell the other day because it'll give out. I've got nerve damage. Like, it just doesn't go away. And this dude got to get off and never have to talk to somebody about the fact that what happened. And I'm sitting here thinking, am I the only one he's done this to?
That was going to be my next thing, was how many times has he screwed up something so simple, let alone something major. But you kind of touched on that with the that recovery time, that 6-month window. And I remember talking to you, and obviously we talk quite a bit, plus we do the show together and stuff like that. Watching you go through that recovery, the surgery itself and everything that happened, it's going to take its toll on you mentally. But that recovery, like you said, you're 26 years old. You shouldn't be going through this at 26. So that's going to have some kind of wear on your mindset and the way you think and the way you feel.
Oh yeah.
Which again, it's nothing that you did. It's nothing that it's not like you were doing anything wrong. It's just something that happened. But now at the end of the day, you're the one that's stuck with it for the rest of your freaking life.
Yeah. And on that, like with the whole like the recovery period, it makes you feel like, especially like with my background, right? I like being a badass. I like being in the shit. I like going through with my guy. I will forever miss the military for what it gave me when it came to like being the guy. It took away my ability to feel like a man. To feel, dude, when you can't pick up your newborn daughter, your 1-year-old daughter, because you're in so much pain. You can't get out of the car without having help. You can't go anywhere without an escort. You're high 24/7 because if you're not, you're in so much pain you can't move. You can't get out of bed or go to the bathroom or shower yourself without help. Dude, that made me feel like so small compared to what I was 6 months prior.
Mm-hmm.
And that was mentally taxing on me and on my wife. It was hard on my marriage. It was hard on my kids because they don't like Carson's 6, Bryson's 4. Like they understand, they see like daddy's hurt. But why can't daddy go outside and play ball with me? Carson asked me so many times, why can't we go play catch? Like, dude, I just can't. I just can't. Yeah. When he was playing ball, I was still using a wheelchair to get around.
Mm-hmm.
Like I went to the ball diamond and you got to go through like all these rocks and shit. And I'm sitting there struggling my ass off trying to get this wheelchair through the rocks.
Yeah.
And to him, it's goofy. And to me, I'm like, dude, this is so embarrassing. Like, look at me where I was 4 months ago. Look at to where I am now. Like I'm failing and it's not my fault.
And it's not, it's not necessarily that you were failing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just, we've all had that moment in our lives, especially as men, where we just feel like less of a man. Unfortunately, it affects you a lot differently than maybe some of us, others. And then, and it sends us into a tailspin.
You able fucks.
Yeah, well, we'll stick with that. We'll stick with able. Some days. Other days I'd like to crawl in a hole and freaking die because of the damage I've done to my body. But
I just got a Ricky Bobby vibe off of what he said. I'm sorry. Where he's at, where he's in the wheelchair.
You know how many times I said that to my brother? You want to see what my life is like?
I can't feel my legs.
I'm so paralyzed.
But no, I mean it is. That's again. I mean that's one of the many issues as men. When you feel like less of a man, it automatically starts to wear on your mental well-being. And it's not that you're less of a man. It's just you're not able to do the things that you, in your head, you can still do, or in your, whether it's physically or, for instance, me coming back to Ohio, I was already dealing with a lot of stuff and dealing with a lot of depression and trying to get over my anxiety and a lot of other issues that I was trying to deal with and wrap my head around. And I literally started all over again. I came back home. I had everything in South Carolina, and I literally started over. I went from a 2,500 square foot house to a 500 square foot apartment.
Yeah,
and started from literally the bottom, from scratch. Making really good money to barely getting by. Having to go DoorDash just so I would have money to survive and buy groceries and stuff for when the kids were there. I mean, when the kids weren't there, I was eating leftovers, or I was eating frozen burritos because I couldn't afford anything else. and that added level on top of everything else that I was trying to process and go through, it was definitely made me feel like worthless, like I wasn't a man anymore. But through I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's just my goddamn stubbornness or bullheadedness or what it is, but through everything, I was like, nah, I made myself a promise a long time ago that I would be a better parent. My kids wouldn't go without, so I just kept pushing through, and eventually, I'm not saying I have I'm perfect. I still have bad days every once in a while. I can't help it. Something happens and it kind of triggers it, and some mornings I wake up in just not a bad mood, just feeling like ass for no reason.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those, they always say that the physical scars, they heal. Those mental scars, they don't ever go anywhere. And that's the downfall. That's the sad part about it.
Once they're there, you can't alter them in any way to make them disappear or to look less noticeable.
Yeah, my therapist and I, we've been talking a lot about because I've been dealing with some stuff mentally outside of this. Is not so much trying to get rid of it, trying to lose that memory that causes you that trauma, that pain, as much as it's to look at the memory differently, and like it takes time. And this this therapist deals with people with post-traumatic stress every day. And her whole objective is not necessarily to get you to forget it, but to look at it completely different. One of my buddies back in the army, one of my old squad leaders, was like, dude, stop looking at it like it's this depressing, horrible moment. Look at it like you're reminiscing. And some of it's horrible, and I wouldn't really call it reminiscing, but it's changing your mindset on what that memory is. And dude, it never goes away. It never goes away. And that was like a depressing thing to hear from a therapist who like deals with it every day. Is like, hey, it doesn't go anywhere. The only thing you can change is how you see it. And I was just like, oh God, but that's gonna take forever. And she's like, yeah, I know.
It's one of those things, and I know it's not the same, but it's kind of down those roads. It's a lesson in life, and you know, you get to decide how you learn or accept and try to move on from that lesson, or do you stay locked up in your own prison, so so to say. And you know, that was the biggest thing for me, was to get out of, for me personally, was to get out of my own fucking head, because god damn it, man, that is our own worst enemy.
Right, and that is the hardest fucking thing you'll ever have to do mentally, is get out of your own fucking head, because once you're in your head, it's nothing but a downward spiral, and it don't get any darker. There's no light at the end of that tunnel, man. It's just one constant downward spiral.
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
And that's for me. For me personally, and this is not me giving anybody advice. I'm just speaking for me personally. My mindset was, I didn't get mad when I got inside my own head. I didn't let it get to me. I just accepted it, and I kind of joke around about it. But when I go to that dark place, I get to see my old friends. When I start to get inside my head, I'm just visiting old friends, and it's as crazy as it sounds, and as not helpful as it sounds, it's what helps me get through and come back to being all right, because I get to see that person that I used to be when I was in that dark place for too long, or in my head for too long. I see that reflection, so to say, and it's like, I don't like that guy anymore. I mean, I like that guy because he's a part of who I am, but I don't want to be that guy anymore. I don't want to be that guy again. So
yeah, he's a part of what you are, and he helped me.
It allows me to I guess, find that light at the end of the tunnel a little bit faster than I did back in the past. And I don't dwell on things like I used to. People would say or do things, and it would just annoy the hell out of me or bother me. And if I didn't lash out, and now it's just like, I'm not going to let you people ruin my day because you're bad, because you feel some sort of way and you're in a bad way. Instead, I'm just going to move on. But Connor, you brought up, seeing a therapist, and I know Haas said today that he went back to see his therapist.
Oh man, I feel so much fucking better, man. It's between last Monday, tonight, and today, man. It's been a whole different feeling from the last 7 days. It's a completely different feeling.
No, I don't do therapy very well. This is my therapy. This podcast has become my therapy. I'll be 100% honest with you guys. It's kind of my outlet. I can vent. I can have fun. If I'm having a bad day, I can come in here and kind of just, escape the reality of the bullshit and get my mind right again. But, it's huge for anybody, but men in general, that you guys are willing to. And I've gone to therapy, and I've actually enjoyed it, because to have that that sounding board, I guess you could say, somebody that you can talk to, and they're not sitting there judging you.
Mm-hmm.
They're not making you feel bad for things that you didn't have any control over, or your past or anything like that. That's nice to have. It really is. But I stopped going to therapy because I tried a couple different therapists, and after a few sessions, they just wanted to start pushing pills. And I'm like, if I wanted to talk to a fucking drug dealer, I could go to the east side of town at the end of the day.
Right.
I made it very clear when I came into therapy, I don't want to take medicine. I don't want antidepressants. I don't want this. I don't want anxiety pills. I don't want any of that. I just want somebody to talk to. You get 5, 6, 7 sessions in or whatever, then all of a sudden you should really try this. No, I don't. That's not what I want. That's not me. And no discredit to anybody who does, because they do. Those meds are there to help, and I'm sure they do help. But
They do wondrous things.
Everybody copes differently.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, that, and I know that they're not quote unquote narcotics, but my fear of prescription drugs and everything like that, with what I went through with my mom and everything like that, it's like I don't want to be medicated. I don't want to be I don't want to be medicated. B, I don't want to be a shell of myself and be a zombie. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know, but I don't want to take the risk. Because as we all know, I'm fucking unhinged and a loose cannon 24/7. I'm just, I'm here. I like being unmedicated. Yeah. But I wanted, Connor, I know you brought it up, and I know Haas, you said today was a great day for you, probably one of the best days you've had in a long time. I do want to kind of ask both of you guys, and Haas, I want to go ahead and let you jump on this real quick first. I'm trying to think of how to word it. Therapy for you, how does it help, and do you find it, rewarding? Is it a good thing for you to do and have that option there for you?
You want to come in here? Them to come to you. You want them to come to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
What I do diamond art, man. It's kind of like a paint by number, but it's with little diamond plastic beads. Hold on one sec.
You are tired.
It takes me out of my head. That's about all I can say. It keeps me out of my head. That, and then just just watching it come along, and then how the finished product. That's the reward for me.
Stop.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of like a like your. I don't like the term coping mechanism, but it's kind of like your way of dealing with things. But I mean, well, what I was really wanting to get to is, like, with you going to therapy, do you like seeing a therapist at all? I mean, is that something that you enjoy, having that person to talk to? Do you find it helps at all?
Yes, man. It helps me tremendously. I didn't think it would. Sorry, squirrels everywhere. Where was we at again? I'm sorry.
Man, you sound like me.
Yeah, right. Your therapy sessions, when you go see your therapist, is it, does it help? And is it?
Yeah, it helps, man. Because they can use. I used to get that mentality you have, man. I'm okay. I'm not crazy. I think I thought a therapist. I think straight jackets and padded rooms. And like you, after a couple of visits, I wanted to push drugs, and but just having that extra outlet to talk to, somebody that isn't necessarily in my situation, but familiar with it, educated on it. It gives me new ways to look at things. How to keep what here we go, millennial talk for you, triggers away.
Yeah.
what you know, and with that educational material, I've learned to navigate what's really wrong up here and not take it out on what's right here, you know. And it's amazing. I mean, I took the warden with me this morning, you know, and it was great. I learned some more things on how to keep those thoughts away, you know, keep the more important thoughts before that other shit, you know.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's still a work in progress, but I'm not where I want to be, but I'm way further than where I was.
No, exactly. Um, kind of the same thing to you, Connor. I know you kind of touched on it a little bit. You know, do you feel like having a therapist is helping you, and you know, I guess you know, helping you progress with dealing with because you know we all know that you know, unfortunately, our military, they don't always get the best treatment they deserve and that they should have. But they also, a lot of them come back with issues and stuff like that. Does going to the therapist allow you to really open up about those as much as you want to? Because obviously therapy is only going to work as much as you allow it to work and as much as you open up. But also, not only that, but also with all these health issues and that kind of mental snap. We won't say a snap, but kind of borderline snap that you went through with all that. With therapy, is that helping you, or are you seeing a progression or anything like that?
So I really enjoy therapy. I asked for medications though. I didn't wait for them to ask. I was having some serious issues and kind of jumping on that little line of brink of just finishing the lovely thing we call life, and cashing in the ticket early. So I was like, hey, we need to get this mentality out of my head because I still love my wife and kids and I don't want to leave this earth.
Mhm.
But they're like, it was like a daily occurrence where I was just like, dude, I'm so sick of this. I'm so tired of being, one, in physical pain, and two, living in past moments that don't exist anymore, and just being stuck in those moments. And I was so mentally drained that I was just like, man, fuck this. I'm so over it. And I was like, so I need to see somebody because I still love my family and I still love what I have here.
Mhm.
And so when I originally went, it was, hey, we need to address this. We need to address this now. And the military, despite all of their flaws, does a really good job with, when you say you need help, like they're Johnny on the spot with it, which is hilarious because, I mean, morbidly ironic, I should say, not really that funny, but uh, because the number of suicides is astronomical in the military.
No, it's that 22 a day is no joke.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
I've lost 4 friends to suicide since I've been in the military.
Mhm.
All just military dudes, and there are a
Well,
myriad of reasons. But
I do have a question on that. How has the mental health side of the VA improved over the years?
so I don't know about over the years. I just started working with the VA, but I can tell you that when I was in the Army, I got seen by my therapist, who I loved. I absolutely love my old therapist. I got seen by him once every 2 months. And my first conversation started out with, "Hey, I'm thinking about offing myself, but I also don't want to." And the military was like, "Hey, we're going to give you like 3 appointments in 1 week, and you see him every other day." And then after that, and I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm starting to feel a little better and getting to progress." Then it was once every 2 months I got an appointment with him because they are so stretched thin. There are so few of them per how many soldiers, for how big the army is. There are so few therapists to go around that they just can't keep up. So it's not even the scheduler's fault. It's not the doctor's fault. It's 100% it's on the military. It's on the army. It's on our government for failing our troops. But the difference is I got seen once every 2 months while I was in the military. Since I've been out and since I started seeing my new therapist, I have had 4 appointments with her in a month. in a month.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's crazy how different it is. And this is a VA doctor too. She's on the spot. She's awesome. But like therapy for me is like going to the gym and having a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my first week in the gym and I'm finding a trainer, because this trainer has to look at me and say, all right, the last 20 years of what was going on, we need to figure out how to forget this, learn new habits, and be better. And what I wanted to do was be better. So it's absolutely been helpful for me. The medication side, I tried a whole bunch of antidepressants and none of them worked. They all made me feel super numb. So I guess they worked. I wasn't sad anymore, but I couldn't feel happy. So I was like, hey, I'm going to stop these, but let's try everything else too. Because I have troubles with sleep because my night terrors are so bad. And I have a lot of troubles with having anxiety attacks out in public. Or just having like a straight up flashback in the middle of a grocery store. I was like, dude, I want to be able to go to the grocery store and not look at a dude who bumped into me and think to myself, oh, this, and this can happen, then shutting down in a grocery store. So they gave me an anxiety medication for that. And it's worked really, really fucking well. We had to double my dose, but it worked really, really well. It's just like, I see that dude, he bumps into me, and instead of going, oh my God, do I have to kill him? Do I have to run? Do I have to kill him? Do I have to run? I sit there and I go, well, excuse me. And I keep on fucking walking.
Right.
You know, it's crazy.
Fuck myself.
It's crazy because, you know, we haven't been friends for a long time, but we've known each other for a little while now. And I've seen those episodes with you. And, you know, we'll just be, you know, even when we work together, we'll be having a good time. And then all of a sudden you go quiet, or you just kind of, you know, I see you 1 minute and then, you know, an hour later I see you and you're just in your head, like, and it's like, you know, and even like on this show, I mean, there's been times where we've been on the show together and doing the show and having a good time, and the next thing I know, you're just like, you get real dark and twisted, and I'm like, or that, or you just get real melancholy and you grab your goddamn guitar, and it's like, we're talking about, you know, we're making dick jokes and fart jokes, and then all of a sudden you're strumming your guitar and singing some dumbass song, and I'm like, really, dude? Like, like, you know, there's a very small part of me that wants to be like, what the hell are you doing, man? But there's also that bigger part of me, which I have done. It's like, I'm going to let him be dark. I'm going to let him be twisted, as long as he don't cross the line. Or there's been times, like I said, where he'll just grab his guitar and just start strumming, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to shut the fuck up and let him kind of get, and then he'll strum a few songs, and all of a sudden, boom, right back to the fart jokes. And it's like, okay, we're good. We're back. I'm not going to let him have his moment for a second.
Yeah, we'll just hit a little crosswind, you know, a little bit of turbulence.
But that's a hell of an analogy that you make with going to therapy. It's like going to the gym. You know, it's exercise, and, you know, or going to physical therapy. At the end of the day, you're you know, our mind is a very, very powerful muscle. It's a very big muscle in our body. You know, figuratively speaking, before somebody's like, your mind's not a muscle, dummy. You know,
it just controls all the muscles.
Yeah, and you know, when you're going through things and you're dealing with things, at the end of the day, that muscle takes a beating, and it's like tearing a bicep muscle or something like that. You have to get back into the gym, and you have to work at it, and it takes time, and it takes a lot of effort, as long as you're willing to take that step and move forward. When I was in therapy,
education too.
Yeah, when I was in therapy, my therapist told me, because I've had a lot of anger issues in life. I've been an angry sumbitch most of my life, and a violent motherfucker most of my life. And my therapist laid it down to me one day, and this was just after 2 or 3 meetings. He's like, Glick, he said, I'm going to give you an analogy that I think you're going to understand. He said, you know what a pressure cooker is, right? And I said, yeah. He said, you know how a pressure cooker works? I'm like, yeah. You know, it builds up so much pressure, and then it just kind of lets, and he's like, exactly. He said, that's what we are as human beings. especially men, and he was an older guy. He said, especially men who were brought up and taught up and told, don't show emotions, don't cry, don't do this, don't do that. We build all that up inside to where we reach a breaking point, and no matter how hard we try, we can't help but to explode. And that goes back to whether it's flashbacks for you, Connor, or flashbacks for Haas, or whatever the case may be, or just having a bad day in general, man. You get up, you got a flat fucking tire on your way to work. Some dickhead cuts you off on the way to work. Your boss yells at you for something you had no control over. You come home, your wife or girlfriend, she's in a mood, so she starts beating you like a government mule, and all that shit.
And then just to top the cherry on top, that fart you thought it turned into a shart, and now you're out in the middle of nowhere with shitty underwear.
Yeah, exactly. So you finally blow your top, and like Connor said, the guy in the grocery store that didn't even do anything accidentally bumped into him. That's that breaking point. And now all of a sudden Connor's whooping the hell out of some dude's ass in the grocery store, and that guy don't even know what the hell's happening. But and that's part of that. Finding that. Like I said, not the podcast itself as a whole has become very therapeutic for me. It's helped me a lot. I don't bottle things up, because I can come on the show, and if something's fucking bothering me, I can just fucking say it, or I can talk about it, and it's in a way that doesn't come across like I can still not be looked down upon because I'm having a bad day and I'm depressed. Instead, I can come on here, I can vent and let loose, and it comes across as, Glick's just being Glick again, and he's on a tirade. Yep, we all know you're the champ, Glick, but in actuality, it's clear in my head, and it's releasing some of that pressure. So we all have to find our outlets. Like Haas has apparently joined Grandma's Diamond Patch Club, and they're down at the bingo hall on Tuesdays making diamond artwork so that they can sell it at the local church craft fair. But
bingo's on
Wednesday. Know me, bro, man. Like, look, I'm the only guy I know that it could be 30 degrees outside, and I set foot on a church property, I start sweating.
I don't even go within 5 miles of a church. I'll just be honest with you.
The church house.
Yes. Within a half a mile of 2 churches.
Fucking bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's just one of those things that, and that's what it boils down to, is it's okay to not be okay, and it's also okay for us to I've talked to my son about it. We've been watching a movie, and he was like, "Yeah, that's sad." I'm like, it's not sad. He's like, "I've seen you cry," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's okay to cry." He's like, "Is it?" I said, "Yeah." I mean, he's like, and I asked him straight up. I said, "Just because I was crying at a movie?" I mean, like, we watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and I don't know if y'all saw that movie, but that movie was an emotional fucking roller coaster.
Yeah, that was Batista's last one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was an emotional fucking movie, because they really dived into like Rocket's backstory. That was an emotional fucking movie. I mean, he even got his little butt choked up a couple times. But I asked him straight up. I said, "Do you think that, you think I'm not a man just because I was crying?" He's like, "No." He was like, "I know you still whoop somebody's butt if you need to." But that's that mindset that I'm putting in myself.
A man crying is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of being strong for too long, or for so long.
Well, not only that, but we're just taught. I mean, even in today's generation, even the younger women, I don't know, you want to call millennial, Gen Z, or whatever, they still kind of look down on men for crying or showing emotion. It's just as much as we as guys have to check on each other and make sure we're all good and not be okay, and not just go, hey, I texted Haas. I asked how he was doing. He said he's fine. Yeah, sick of your shit. Cry, and on the TikTok chat, crying is a stress relief as well. 100% it is. Oh yeah, dude, I've been stressed out and just start crying for no fucking reason, and then I feel better. But
oh yeah, that'll do in TikTok, man. He's a cool dude.
It's just one of those things where that sign of weakness, even in the women kind of in today's era, they kind of look at that. So it's like it's not only, like I was saying, not only do we got to check on our bros, so to say, but women, it's all right for a man to show a little bit of emotion and vulnerability at the end of the day. And don't make him any less of a man. And you should be there to, support him and let him know it's okay, because that's the other big thing that we deal with as men. We don't show emotion and we don't show vulnerability because, again, it's a mentality, it's a mindset that we're born with. It's in our genes. We can't fucking help it. It's not taught. There's literally, it's through centuries and centuries and centuries of men. It's ingrained in us. It's part of our DNA. We are hunters. We are gatherers. We are providers. We are protectors. We are to be the strong one. So this isn't just a taught cycle. This is something that's ingrained into our DNA at the end of the day. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
I'll tell you to prove me wrong, because I might not be the smartest guy in the room, but I'm sure there's some people that are way smarter than me that would say, that big dummy has a point.
Just a little one. No.
Yeah. Just a little point, but Connor disappeared on me, and I wanted to bring something up, but so check this out. Like the whole thing about men crying. Yeah, I got a little clip here. Check this out. This is wild.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
I've been trying to, a lot of this is just kind of free talk and conversation and not planned, but going forward with the show, I've been trying to get some kind of prepping done, some kind of something done to, but check this out. This is a video that I found the other day. Kind of hits home with exactly what I was just saying.
Should men be more emotionally vulnerable?
Not too early in the relationship.
Why you say that?
Could be a turn off.
Last time you cried?
I don't remember.
3 years ago.
I cry a lot.
I'm not a big crier.
I'm an emotional person. I cry every day.
When's the last time you cried?
I was 16.
That was the last time?
Yeah.
Maybe like 14 years.
Oh, if you're a man, don't cry. I'm about to cry my ass out. I'm tired. I'm depressed. I'm tired.
You're never like this. She really touched your heart, didn't she?
When's the last time you cried?
I lost my best friend this year, so it's still been a hard thing for me.
I'm so sorry.
Like, you made me think about it.
I'm so sorry.
And then I was just like mildly uncomfortable, which is nothing against him.
And then the bottom, it's not like I dislike anyone. I'm very disinterested in a lot of people.
Now, if I can be honest on that for just a second, it's women like that the cause of a lot of the mental issues men like us have.
I won't say they're the cause, but they're certainly not there to
They're not
help.
bettering it. Right.
They're not bettering it. I mean, I don't know if you guys caught that last clip. They were kind of rating people. And that they asked that question of when the last time you cried, and that guy said, or something, and he started thinking about his best friend who had died, and he started to cry. Initially it was, oh my God, that's so sad, I'm so sorry. But they were literally rating people, and they put him at the bottom of the list just because he cried. Like that there speaks volumes as far as what I'm saying is, where the problem, I don't want to call it a problem, but we'll call it an issue, is as far as in today's society. Yeah, you got people out there that are, oh, well, we want to take care of men's mental health, and men's mental health is this and that and the other thing. Yet you still break us down and make us feel bad for it when we do show vulnerability.
Yeah, or you use that as a weapon against us.
Mm-hmm. Today it is okay for a man to be. It's more of a matter of people forgetting their natural roles. Exactly. Connor was talking about, the struggle of, unaliving oneself. Are you in a desk chair spinning around by chance?
Man, that dude is stoned as a biblical whore, just off in his own little world, spinning around in his little zoomy chair.
I'm not. I'm on the couch. You're seeing the shadow from my fan.
Oh, but
I'm not that high.
cashing the old ticket early, and our vets. It's a real thing. It's 22 a day. Men, period, have the highest suicide rate out of anybody, and men under 25 are the highest suicide rate in our country right now.
Facts.
And it has a lot to do with you reach that breaking point where you don't know what else to do or where else to go, and it's obviously having that love and loving your loved ones, your children, your wife, your significant other, or whatever. Hopefully that's enough to keep you from doing that, crossing that road, so to say. And but in actuality, I think that's a crutch. And I'm not, I don't think anybody should ever go down that road, because you think that you're ending all the pain and you're ending all the suffering and you're ending everything you're going through. But at the end of the day, all that pain, all that struggle, and everything that you're going through, you're leaving that burden and that monster on everybody behind.
You've created a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Mm-hmm. And then you've created, well, like I said, you pass all that hurt and struggle on to everybody else, because then they're like, well, what did I do wrong? What could I have done? And a lot of times a simple phone call or a simple text or something like that can go a long freaking way. Or something. I've been there. I've been there 3 times. And for whatever reason, I was going through with it, and there was no stopping me. But for whatever reason, I'm still here. And the first 2 times was before I had any kids or anything like that. The last one was not too long ago. Well, a while back, but nonetheless, for whatever reason, it didn't work. It didn't happen. I'm still here. And I don't think
the Lord wasn't ready for you yet, my friend.
Trust me, I ain't going up there, and I ain't going down there either.
I think we're living in our own version of hell every day of our lives. I believe there's a heaven and a hell, and that's our hell is right here. We live our own certain kind, but that's off subject. I'm sorry.
No, but the U.S. mental health care system is pretty crazy. I agree. It really is. It really is.
So many school shooters.
What's up,
I've said it a million times, and I've actually had people that take it however you want. If you don't believe me, you don't have to. But I've actually had people reach out to me that have been going through stuff. I may not know you personally, but if you need an ear, if you need a friend, I'm not hard to find. We have our we have our link in all of our social media in the bios. You can find us anywhere. You can DM us. You can, more than likely it's going to be me that responds. But when you think that there's nobody else out there, nobody else is going to give it, I don't have to know you. Connor said he's lost four friends in the military due to unaliving. I've lost people from it as well. It's tough, and the survivors are left with a lot of struggle, a lot of regret, a lot of what ifs, a lot of how do we not see this? How do we not know? Myself personally, I'll be that friend in the darkness. I've been there, and I felt like I didn't have anybody to reach out to, and it's a damn shame.
Facts. And And for those of you that are new here, to further go on with what he said, what he's going through or what he's explaining now is exactly what we went through when I first met the dude. And I've known this guy for 10 years, man, and he's the first one I come to start this sort of, I guess, call it a trend, right?
That's trend, whatever. Like like I told you, you've dealt with a lot of things in the 10 years that I've known you, whether it be alcohol or drug addiction, weight, being overweight, health concerns. And I've watched you grow, and I've watched you, beat those demons in addiction and overcome them. I've watched you get the health, stuff under control, and you and the missus as well, with the weight loss and everything like that. You got your addictions locked down, you got your body right, and now you're ready to start working on your mind. And this is something I've wanted to do, so it was a perfect perfect window of opportunity for me to grab a hold of it, and not to mention the fact that you wanted to do it on my goofy ass show, which was insane to me.
So, and the more I think about that, it's I'm putting myself out there for them people, that you got them ones that'll suck it up and they just keep on going. But eventually somebody's going to come scrolling across one of these platforms and find the help they need here, an outlet to get everything out here.
And Connor, you can yell at me later if you want. I don't mean to keep your business out there, but last week we were doing the show, and it got a little too heavy for Connor, and he bailed out early. I knew it was going to be a heavy show. I know these shows are going to be heavy at time. It's a tough conversation to have. It's not an easy topic. It's not something that I'm doing for a trend or for views and likes and clicks. I'm truly doing it because I want our panel, no matter who it is, whether it's me and Brian or with you guys on the show the last couple of weeks, or however often you guys want to come. I truly hope that at the end of the day, for somebody out there going through it, somebody out there that's dealing with shit, don't know what their next move is, don't know what their next step is, I really hope that we can be that voice in the dark and to help bring them back. So to say, I'm not going to try to fix anybody. I'm not the smartest man in the world. I can just speak on, my truth, or, Connor can speak on his truth, and Haas can speak on his, and, people might be able to relate a little bit at the end of the day. It's just our normal show alone. We've reached a few men that have been going through some things, and I had no idea. None of us had any idea that they were going through stuff. And then they tell us later on down the road, they'll be in the chatters box. Hey guys, I just want to say thank you. What the hell are you thanking us for? We're two dummies in here, just having a good time and ranting and raving. And it's like, my wife left me. I lost my kids. My job went to hell. I was really going through it. I didn't know. And it was like, you guys didn't know it, but you helped us through. Now I'm actually wanting to do something to where we focus on that. And my goal is to help people. I have bipolar and borderline personality disorder. It destroyed my life, but I'm a work in progress. We're all a work in progress.
Always, bro. Stay positive, dude.
I'm a work in progress. I'm so goddamn mentally fucking broken and destroyed. And but every day
we're not where we want to be, but we're where we're at, and it's a lot better than where we were. Because all the shit that you said that you've seen in me, I've seen in you too. I go back from day one with you, buddy. 11 years. I saw you at your rock bottom.
Yeah.
I met you at your rock bottom, bro. You met me at mine.
Mm-hmm.
And look at us now.
I didn't even know I was at my rock bottom because I was so. And that's the other thing that that we find ourselves doing, men in general, we find ourselves getting locked into a routine, and we kind of got tunnel vision. You know, like when you put the blinders on a horse, that's what we have. And my routine was get up in the morning, go to work, come home, eat, shower, go sleep in the garage because that's where I was sleeping at the time. My wife, my now ex-wife, we weren't even sleeping together the last 4 or 5 years of our relationship. I slept down in my garage. I had a whole ass man cave set up down there with a big sectional couch and a big ass TV, and that's where I slept.
The pool table.
Appreciate it, Joan. Get you some dinner. And that was my routine day in and day out. Saturday nights was get the kids squared away, get them all situated, go live, and just drink my face off. And I had blinders on to how bad I was to the outside world, how, you know, what people saw when they seen me. I had no idea. I had my blinders on. It wasn't until, you know, my kids left, and for the first couple months, they didn't even want to be around me. And that hit so hard, and that was a fucking. You want to talk about a slap right in the mouth and a eye opener. When the first time my kids said they didn't want to come over and see me, man, that was. I had to take a long, hard look in the mirror, and that was one of those times where I was like, all right, I'm so bad off, and you know, it would be better for them and better for everybody else around me if I just wasn't here. And I tried, and then I just woke up I woke up the next morning to the birds chirping and the frogs frogging or doing whatever they're doing, and the fountain outside my window, because I had a pond outside in my backyard, and the fountain was going, and fucking vomit everywhere. I don't know how. I mean, I took a bottle full of pills. I didn't even know what they were. They were just left there from my ex-wife, and I drank. You know, I did my stream, and I drank my face off, and I went up, washed down a bottle with a beer, and like I said, I laid down in bed, and my last thought was, I'm gonna lay up here and nobody's gonna find me for like 2 weeks, because I didn't have anybody. I had no friends. I had no family. I didn't have anybody. Next morning, you know, I'm waking up going, what the fuck? And like I said, sometime in the middle of the night, I threw up everything I took. And I was like, well, because I'm supposed to fucking be here, ladies and gentlemen. So you guys are stuck with me, because I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. And it was at that moment when I woke up that I had the realization was, you know, my kids don't want to be around me, but if I wasn't here, what would I have done to them? And it was at that, you know, that was kind of that come to reality, that come to Jesus conversation that I had with myself in the mirror. And it was like, all right.
You know, big homie, it's funny you should say that, because I don't know if she said it loud enough or not in the back there, but she said what he doesn't realize is that you and him are mirror images of each other when we hit our rock bottoms. We did a lot of the same things, and I was getting ready to say before she said that is I have my own story of doing that exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I flew off the deep end one day and literally drove with a quarter tank of gas, last of the money, bought a fifth of Jack Daniels, come home and popped a bottle open. I don't know what I took or how much of it I took, but I took it, and I basically opened that bottle up, and I didn't put it back down until that thing was empty.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and sat in my sunroom, and next thing I remember, I see Brandy and this other person coming in every once in a while to check on me, and then everything that was in my stomach was then at that point all over everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, exactly. That's when the epiphany hit. I was like, I did this in front of my kids, boom. Yeah, you talk, dude, that was a TKO right there. Like that was the day that next day after I realized what I had done, I dumped every beer that I had out except for one, and it's still sitting outside. Every bit of liquor, every bit of beer I had went down the drain.
Exactly. And Connor, I feel like we're kind of really rocking his world right now. Connor said it a million times on this show. And you can attest to this, Connor. You can tell me if I'm wrong or right. The love of a good woman goes a long way. Connor's Nikki, and I say Connor's Nikki because I have a Nikki too. She is for him, she is the definition of ride or die. I mean, am I wrong or am I right, Connor?
Yeah, we talked about this the other night, like on a Wednesday or something. We was chatting about
This one behind me was the first one to show me what a best friend was. I'm sorry. Your voice was like so low, I didn't even hear you, dude.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
I like what you call her. I really like that phrase for what you call your wife. What do you want to say that one more time?
Warrior woman.
So warrior woman. There's
no one like her that's gonna fight like she has. She's that fucking warrior spirit. Because we've been fucking kicked down. And we've had our
that's mine, dude. If she's not fighting with me, she is fighting for me.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and really, she shined through over this last year and a half time frame when I started having my health issues. Because it was fucking hard, man. When you feel like you're losing your manhood and everything's getting stripped away from you, your ability to provide for your family is getting stripped away from you. Everything that you used to be able to do that made you feel like more of a man is now gone. And my wife was there cheering me on every step of the damn way. And we had our fights and we had our other issues, but every time that she would see me struggling, she'd be there. You got this. Don't quit. What do we got to do together? Let's do it together. I'll step with you. Let's go. Where are we going? And she'll fight and she'll have my back. And
that's right.
She hasn't fucking left me yet, which is so beyond comprehension to me.
Easy, Turbo.
Yeah, he's there, Dexter. Well, he come in hot, didn't he?
No, that's the great thing, man. And I know Haas has Brandy. I mean, they've had their ups and downs. I've witnessed them. I've heard them. I've watched them happen. Having a strong woman by your side that shows day in and day out that she's there for you, no matter what. I mean, that's what really, when Nikki and I first started dating, that was that turning point when I was like, I finally found that. I finally found out that person that's gonna, have my back through it.
Do you remember when our troop went to the Women's Royal Rumble?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, it happened Saturday.
Hey, you want to hear something funny? I remember you when you were a baby.
I don't know you.
I don't tell me that ain't weird, right?
That's my purse.
But I don't know you.
I just realized my camera's off because we're on TikTok, and I think that's what got me in trouble was my nicotine addiction. So I'm trying to that camera off being thing didn't help anything I just said. That sounded like completely like Herbert the pervert shit, dude, without the whistle.
No, that's the great thing about having TikTok on my phone and it pointed at my computer. I don't think they're really seeing what because I get in trouble for drinking. But no, like I said, having that good woman by your side to stand there no matter what, and not only that, but allows you to be vulnerable and show weakness and stuff like that. That means so much more than I think anybody really understands, because you know, and I've told the story on the show before. You know, my pops and I, we haven't talked in over a year at this point. We had a huge falling out, and it was like the first, maybe second time Nikki came to Ohio to visit. We were still, we maybe a month and a half into our relationship, and when he left, I wound up, you know, busting my hands all up and fucking came back here, and she was already in bed, and I laid down, and I just lost it. I absolutely lost it. I was upset. I was sad. I was pissed off at the world. I was so mad and so upset and everything like that. And she literally just laid there in bed and held me and just kept reiterating, everything's going to be fine. You know, and the next morning, like we woke up and I was so embarrassed. And I told her, I was like, I get it. If you want to leave, I get it. If you never want to talk to me again. Last night was horrible. And I felt stupid and I felt really embarrassed by it. She's like, I ain't fucking going anywhere. Are you serious? She's like, it happened. You know, I'm not judging you. I don't look at you any differently or anything else. And that right there was like that light switch going off. And it meant the world to me because, and you know, throughout the last year and some change, you know, she's right there. If I'm having a bad day, she's right there. You know, if
she's made a huge difference in you.
Yeah, if I'm just being fucking grumpy, she's right there just to fuck with me. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
you know, and I've never had that in a partner before, so it was new to me. Even after being with the kids' mom for 17 years, and in different other relationships, I never had that. If I had a bad day, then I was made to feel like a fucking scumbag for it. So it was like, all right, time to lock it up. Nobody's gonna know. I'm just gonna. I was told once that I'm like, at one point in my life, I was like a robot. I was like an emotionless robot because of how closed off I was and emotionless I was. Um, and it's nice that, I can be happy, goofy, fun loving, whatever, or I can be depressed for a day. But like she tells me, hey, you can visit, but don't stay there very long. We need you back.
That's her. Yeah.
You all go with me. I don't know what I caught part of that, but I can't go nowhere. I got somebody with me all the time. Mostly you.
Mainly me. I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm telling you, like she is. Most people have those dogs, but the dogs that I like, people don't necessarily really like those kind of dogs. And so to avoid that kind of confrontation, I just kind of go with my wife. So she's like my emotional support human.
That's what he told his therapist today.
Like I'm not gonna lie, dude. She's like my safe place when I freak out, and I freak out in public, and it is bad. I freak the fuck out. And so I just go with her because she kind of I'm chill, I know with her that I say I'm ready to go. We're gone,
Exactly. And that's why I said that's okay. We're allowed to have those moments. I've always been that emotional rock, and for other people it's nice that I don't have to be all the time, that I'm allowed to, for the first time ever, I'm allowed to just let my guard down, and it's very therapeutic sometimes, at the end of the day.
Right. It's great. Like it's just it's such a relief that I've actually got to, smoke my one throughout the show, and And then I just got to smoke one after just to unwind, you know. It's such that relief that it's unwinding, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like what Chris said about like being able to just vent and go to them and have someone to talk to, and they're not going to look down on you. Because especially as a husband, as a father, you know, all the things you're like, I'm not allowed to show this. This isn't for my kids to see. This isn't for my wife to see. This is for me to deal with on my fucking own and take care of. And then you have a moment, she sees it and immediately says, "Hey, just tell me what you need. Talk to me." And Nikki said it probably once or twice, where she's just like, "Just whatever you need to say, say it. I don't care. I'll be your punching bag.
Yeah.
Just don't hit me, but you know, I'll be your verbal punching bag. Tell me what's going on. You know, just talk to me." And to be able to let loose all of the anger, all of the fear, and talk about it, and know that she's not going to look at me any different at the end of the day.
Do you guys?
I believe her and trust her enough to say, "All right, she said that she doesn't care. She just wants to know and help me. So I'm just going to say it."
If I can be honest with you, man, the instant that I found out for sure on my end is, I think probably the first time going back. I think the first time that she's actually seen me cry, and the fact that she was there and she held me through what I was going through. When her mom passed, I knew she wasn't going anywhere, and from then she's the one that has been able to knock down walls that absolutely nobody could take down. And she's took them down, and it's taken me the day that I married her was the day that I realized she wasn't going to go nowhere, and she was there for me, and that was the day that I started to change. She had seen me at my absolute worst, and she stuck through my absolute worst and still married me. Now it's time for me to work on myself to give her the absolute best marriage.
Mm-hmm.
But the day I knew I had that was the day that her mommy passed away. We went to her funeral, and I was an emotional wreck, man. I wasn't gonna go because you don't know my mother-in-law, man. I had a shirt and tie. The only other time I wore a shirt and tie was the day I got married, since she's known me. And I couldn't find my fucking tie, and I lost my shit. And I said, "Fuck it, I'm not going." And it led into a fight, and it took my mom coming over, man. And when mom come over, I blew up again, and I lost my shit. But that was right in my driveway of this house right here. That was the day that she held me and said it was going to be okay, that we got this. It was the day that I knew that I had her, you know, that she wasn't going anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that's huge. But you know, not only, you know, outside of the hard times when we're going through it, and then being there, you know, on a more happier note, you know, a little bit more, you know, upbeat note, you know, one of the things that I really appreciate and that I've never really had.
Oh, I gotta go.
Oh, is he good?
I think he's getting ready to shit his pants. Is somebody who allows me to just be myself. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very charismatic. I'm a big personality, and when we walk into a room, I like to have fun. I like to, you know, if we're at a bar or something like that, I like to, you know, have fun. Or even if we're just sitting at the house, I'm a smart ass. We could be watching TV, and I just start commenting or commentating television, and I can truly make her laugh. Like I genuinely make her laugh. She doesn't fake laugh. You know, it's a genuine laughter. But
the best one, dude, is Prodigy live songs, and a song come on the radio, and you just make up your own shit to go along with it, and that's the best part.
So, and I almost forgot who that guy was because he's been buried for so long, and now I get to be that that guy again, and it's judgment free. So again, that's another aspect of that getting your mind right and getting mentally quote unquote mentally stable is being allowed to be yourself around the people who mean the most to you. And that's something that I have with her. I'm a goofball. I like to joke around and have a good time and do dumb shit. And
right, you're a busted rubber, dude.
Yeah, and she's right there beside me, doing the same dumb shit I'm doing. Or
right.
I have a very interesting wide spectrum of music, and people might be like, you're 6'2", 300 pounds with a big old beard. Why are you listening to freaking Whitney Houston in the car cranked up? What?
Are you talking about Nikki?
I don't know. With the stereo cranked up and dancing and singing along to Whitney Houston, you look like an asshole. She just looks over and laughs at me, and she's like,
"How do you not know if you're talking about somebody?"
Because I don't know. Nosy, and that's one of those things. I mean, that's part of that. Finding that person or finding those people, if not necessarily a person, but those people who, accept and appreciate you for who you are, and let you be you at the end of the day, because
you finally feel like you're busting out of your shell, man. You don't know how to act, dude. Like it's that you can fall into a barrel of tits and come out sucking your thumb kind of feeling,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
no, it's like, okay, well, no,
I ain't seen this motherfucker since I was a kid. Where the hell you been at? I thought you packed your shit a long time ago and left, fool.
That was me. I was like, man, last time I remember this guy, he was like 16, 17, life of the party. I'm a big person in general, but I've got an even bigger personality. So when I walk into a room or a bar or something like that, and I'm, as Nikki says, I'm on my bullshit, everybody notices. And it's not that I'm an attention whore or anything like that. It's just I'm ready to have a good time, and hopefully the people around me are going to have a good time as well. And like we'll go to the bar together, and I'll be like, I'm going to go to the bathroom, and she's like, and go make new friends, and I'm like, probably. And then I show back up 15 minutes later with 6 new friends
and a dick in each hand.
Yeah, they're watching reality TV out there or something. So she's like, and then she jumps right in and has fun with like, we don't know, none of us know each other. We literally just met that night. We're all having a good time hanging out. No drama, no BS, and everybody's having a good time. That's me.
Greg, so, I'm an interesting character to take to a bar. You want to go to a bar with me?
It's nothing personal, but there's not many places in public I would be willing to take you. You're like a rabid pit bull. People just don't take you out in public.
But when they do, it's fucking fun, isn't it?
No, yeah,
dude.
No, I, and we've talked about this before. I think when it happens, when we all do finally get to meet and hang out, I think we'll have a good time, even if we're just at somebody's house, sitting around playing board games or whatever. I think it'll be a good time when we all do get together and finally meet in person.
Yeah, and you're gonna smoke a joint with me, motherfucker. I'll tell you what, you smoke a joint with me, I'll drink a beer with you. How's that?
Yeah, well, that's a negative, Ghost Rider. I don't. That's. I don't like it.
Okay, how about that shit? I'll give you that Delta 7 shit.
I don't even dance with that shit. I had 2 experiences with it, and one was good and one was bad. And I was like, all right, I'm good. I've tried gummies twice. First time was good. Second time not so good. I'm good. I'm out.
So you got the pink one time and the stink the next, huh?
Basically.
Did she at least wipe?
Yeah, no. There was no wiping. No, it was bad. But yeah, again, that's another one of those aspects of mentally healing and going through the emotions and going through the changes and getting your, everybody, a lot of people focus. So, you got these gym rats who are so dead set and locked in on getting their body right and looking a certain type of way. But at the same time, they're a fucking mess upstairs. They are fucking, they're a goddamn train wreck upstairs in their head. But they put on a facade, they put on a mask, and they go about their day. And
Dad,
yes,
did you notice on the fruit snack it has what they say on English and then Spanish?
I did not, because I don't eat the fruit snacks.
English, purple caterpillar, Spanish, blah. I don't know what that is.
Exactly. Blah, 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 blah.
I'm right there with you, bro. I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck he was saying.
Just on the fruit snack wrapper, they have all the words in English and Spanish apparently. So I don't know.
Jesus.
He was trying to read Spanish, but apparently it just came out gibberish. And that's the other aspect. For me personally, that's kind of really helped me in the long run is, seeing where my kids are now compared to where they were 5 years ago.
Fucking right, dude.
They're so much happier. And again, this is no shot at their mom. This is no disrespect at their mom or anything like that.
Mine is. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah.
Different story for a different day.
Yeah, but
it ties into mental health, but it's for a different day.
Yeah, since they've come to stay with me, on a more full-time basis and whatnot, they seem happier. They seem more outgoing and fucking, again, go back on with the Nikki subject. They fucking love her, man. And she's got 2 kids that are grown. One's in the Air Force, one's 22 doing his own thing. With his girlfriend, got his own place, got a job, all that stuff. Like, she already did the mom thing. She didn't have to come in here and take any interest in these goofballs.
Right.
But she has. What are you guys doing?
About to beat your son with this toilet or with this paper towel roll.
Well, go beat him in another room.
Whoop his ass. What are you waiting on? Do it. Give him the what for? You show him who the boss is, old girl. Show him.
I haven't hurt yourself.
Again, this is what I was talking about.
Sorry, dude. I'm an instigator, bro. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I ain't gonna lie. Whoop his ass. Treat him like he's a level 3 maximum security inmate and just beat his ass.
Susie.
No, again, that's what I'm talking about. Because she came in and I told her, I was like, I'm not looking for a replacement for their mom. You don't have to be stepmom or anything like that. But she's jumped right in and jumped into that role, and she loves the kids. The kids love her. I mean, they look forward to spending time with her and seeing her throughout the week. And they've met her parents. I mean, the first weekend that they met her parents, her mom and dad, I think they were excited to have more potential grandkids. And that first weekend, they were like, "What do we, what do we call you?" And her dad was like, "We're grandma and grandpa." And that was it. Like, because they didn't know if they were supposed to call them like Mr. or Mrs. John Brinkley or whatever. And he was like, "We're grandma and grandpa. You call us grandma and grandpa if you want to." And that's what they do, man. And they look forward to taking trips to PA to spend time with them, and her parents look forward to it. They get excited when the kids come out there. And I mean, Cash and her dad, dude, they're fucking ridiculous. Those two, they talk so much shit to each other and just fuck with each other the whole time. But like I said, that right there, that laughter and that excitement and that joy that they have now that they didn't used to have is another one of those things that was like,
Yeah, that's
I'm
how
glad,
women
I'm glad,
is, dude. For real,
I'm glad I'm still here, and I'm glad that I decided to put my fucking head down and grin and bear it and get through all the lows to get to where we are today. And I didn't have a magic crystal ball that I could shake and it was going to be, and it told me everything's going to be fine. You just got to give it a couple of years and everything will be fine. You know,
and that's what that was another big part of my lows was with Natasha, and that goes back with her too. And it's all right. It's all right. You know, you just wait. Just wait. She said eventually that other shoe's going to drop. Don't know when, but just wait. And look at us now. Now this is year number 4 that she has lived here full time. That means, you know, and I've watched her grow from this scared, sheltered, any kind of attention is good attention persona to she is like completely blossomed into her own freaking personality, dude. In just a matter of 4 years, me and this woman worked hard for what we got, and what it finally took was her standing by my side. And I says, "Look, I'm putting my foot down. My kid's not living in this. She ain't living in a hotel room again. She's lived in a hotel room for 68 days, and she's not doing it again.
Yeah, it's not happening no more.
So if this is what's going to happen. I'll set you up. I got her a room at a discounted rate on mine and Brandy's good name. I got her a damn near 50% off a week for 2 years straight. Just so she could be right there and afford a place to stay and still be able to come and see her child.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then she pissed that away by doing some pretty grimy shit and getting caught by the owner. She lied about it and said she couldn't afford it no more. But I know the guy personally. I used to work for him on the weekends while I was not driving truck, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I know the guy very, very well. This dude, when we got our house and he told us congratulations, he said, "Come with us." He grabbed a cart and give us 6 or 7 bed sets, you know, the blankets and sheets and pillows and pillowcases, like 5 or 6 sets of them, washing powders, pillows, just everything might need, soaps and all that stuff. And he said, "Congratulations on your house. You know, don't forget where you come from, pretty much, you know."
Yeah.
And I put my name out there for them, man, and they pissed that away. And ever since then, it's been, hey, can't stay here no more, can't afford it. You need to go pick her up from school. And didn't come around for 7 fucking months after that.
Mm-hmm.
And me not, you know, me being me, the better person, continue to allow her to come around. She and then she gets pissed off at her now because she don't want to be around. She picks and chooses when she wants to see her mother. And she don't like that, and she's throwing that off on us. And she finally broke down and says, "Listen, bitch," and that's how she said it. "They're not coursing my actions towards you in any way. Your actions is my reactions to you. They have no way to influence my decision on you. Your actions influence the decisions on you." And she said, and furthermore, "I don't want to go with you. I don't want to stay with you. I don't want to leave with you."
Pretty sure won't bring her back.
And she said, "Why not?" I said, "Because you're not going to bring me back to my daddy."
No, exactly. Oh shit!
You know,
that was weird.
What happened?
I just had a really crazy echo for a second. No, exactly. That's the thing. You know, I'm not. You know, my ex-wife and I, we don't play the kids against each other or anything like that. You know, but I've also, you know, I can walk with a clear conscience and a not guilty conscience if I just, you know what, you guys are all plenty old enough. When it comes to family, when it comes to me, when it comes to your mom, when it comes to whoever, you're plenty old enough and you're plenty smart enough. You can make your own decisions.
Yep, and that's it.
You know, same thing when when my dad and I had the fight that we had, and he walked out the door. It was a little while later when the kids, because they had asked me, why don't you and Grandpa talk anymore? Or where's Papa Scott been at, or whatever. And I finally had to tell him, look, Papa Scott and I had a huge fight, and I don't know when or if him and I will ever talk again. I'm not going to reach out to him. That effort's going to have to be made on his part, and it's going to have to be a fucking effort made. And not just a random fucking text or anything like that. But I told him, I said, that's your papa. You guys can make whatever decision you want to make on him, whether you want to talk to him or not. I'm not going to ever stop you from talking to your papa. I'm not going to stop you from wanting to go see him, or if he wants to come and get you guys and take you guys out to eat, or whatever, go spend the night. Like, that's not me. However, you guys can make your own decisions, because I'm not going to put that guilt on my conscience that I denied my kids a relationship with their grandpa, right, because him and I had a fight, and then then down the road it comes back and bites me in the ass because something happens and the kids are like, well, it's your fault, Dad. No. I don't need that. I got enough shit on my mind. I don't need that extra level of unnecessary stress on my mind. So whatever decision you guys make is the decision that I will stand beside you with. I'll honor that decision. I'll be right there to support you 100%. And the decision that you make, I'm not making that decision for you. That's not my place to make the decision. That's 100% up to you. And again, that's one of those things that's that mental clarity, trying to, and that's kind of where I am in life, where I'm flushing the toxicity, man. I've got enough on my mind as it is. Mm-hmm. I don't need any extra level. And that's that level of, like I said, for me, and I can only speak on for me and my mental well-being, but for me, it has been tremendous to just wash my hands of anybody and everybody who presents some form of toxicity in my life. They're not worth it. You guys are not worth the space in my head, and for me to stress over and get myself worked up and send myself into a panic attack or an anxiety attack or sink into a depression because I'm worried about people that couldn't give two shits and a fuck about me. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, for a lot of people that'll help with their mental well-being once they're able to just kind of, wash my hands, done.
Are we still on TikTok?
No, I took TikTok down a while ago.
Cool. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But shit. Squirrel. Ah, damn, where the hell did it go? Son of a bitch, man. Can't take me nowhere. That's why we can't have nice things, bro.
It's all your fault, Hoss.
God damn it, it's got to be somebody's fault. But anyway, I was wanting to wait and tell this, man, but there's no time like the present, right? So fuck it. I know you was telling me about that spill with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
And how all that went down. Now, since about September, when, as a matter of fact, it was around really close, right? Not, if not right at my birthday. Me and Brandy went to that concert for our birthday and our anniversary over in Knoxville, and
who'd you go see again? Spice Girls?
Yeah, at Backstreet Boys and late 90s, early 2000s Blake Shelton, the one when you want to got that long black hair and a nice cowboy
the
hat.
mullet and stuff.
Yeah, and them nice tight wrangles you just want to rip off with your teeth, grab him by that shiny black hair and just rail him.
Yeah.
No, we went and we saw Motley Crue. Or not Motley Crue, not Motley Crue. God damn it. I do that every time. Quiet Riot.
Oh, Quiet Riot. Either way, still nice.
Yeah.
I did hair bands Friday night.
Starting about right there, I've started kind of distancing and limiting all contact with them because, like I said, a lot of shit from last week I was saying was still happening up until this time when I finally decided to start distancing myself. I started seeing certain shit that, long story short, Christmas was it.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason it was that, and that was my decision, was because I didn't want to spring that on my kids and them not understand why, and they have presents over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We let them know in advance, look, we're not doing this year. These presents you're getting, they're probably going to be the last.
Yeah.
Don't be heartbroken. Don't be upset. And so I've officially been done with them since Christmas Day. New Year's Day, or within a day or two of New Year's, maybe after, I discovered I still had an active Facebook that I thought I had deleted and deactivated and everything. And I told Brandy, I said, let me see your phone, so I logged into this into the Facebook, and I made this big old post basically saying, look, fuck you, basically, in a nice way. I wasn't disrespectful about it. I just aired some laundry that had been kept up that needed to be let out about the abuse and the trauma and all that, and how one person caused it and the other one allowed it. And I said, this is it. There's a few of you that, if you want to get a hold of me, there's a few that got my number. If not, sorry for you. It ain't nothing against you. It's time for me to do me. And so since about New Year's, man, same story, man. I told them how it was. I washed my hands of it. Haven't spoke to them since. So they have not texted me the first time.
So let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
Since you finally, put your foot down, washed your hands of it, walked away from it, you're not going to expose your kids to it. You're not going to expose yourself to it any longer. You put up with it long enough. How are you feeling? How is that? How was that felt?
Okay. So, can I answer your question with a question?
Sure.
How does normal feel?
What is normal? Can I answer your question with another question?
I think we're our own version of normal. Okay.
Yeah.
I feel normal, but this is a completely different normal. Like, and it's not a bad, completely different. This is like, I feel like I'm 3 million pounds lighter.
Exactly.
And the fact that how hard this has been for me, and I knew I couldn't come see my therapist in time because I knew I was gonna fucking explode. And that's when I come to you. That's when I told you I was ready to talk. I had to get it out, or I could tell. I promise you, Chris, I would be here on this podcast as a divorced husband that don't get to see his kids.
It's that pressure cooker that was building up, man. It was that pressure cooker.
Right? That whistle the little teapot gets, and just before it goes kaboom.
Yep.
Because I promised myself I'd never get to that level of darkness where I was that angry and couldn't control my inner self like that. And I boom. It's been like that because they've texted. They texted a couple of times. Oh, about 3 days after I made that post. Oh, I hope you guys are being safe. I love you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I left it unread. And then Dad called me about a week later. I ignored his phone call, and then he texted me, hey, yo, blah, give me a call. let it go for another week, and then just a couple of days ago, and it's really, I was already done. I just off, you know, it didn't affect me. All of a sudden, just to try to that last straw to get me to break and come crawling back to them like that defeated, defenseless child that they turned me into type deal. It stooped so petty, bro, that he went on a fucking paragraph long tangent of how he wanted a broken car jack for God knows what that he give to Skylar like 3 years ago, because in fact it was broken. It was of no use to him.
Yeah.
And just 3 or 4 days ago, it was just this big fucking deal. And he like, I demand my jack back tonight. Yeah, fuck you. You know, I haven't spoke to him since, but apparently I was at work the other day and Brandy was asleep and they showed up at my house unannounced and picked it up and left.
Yeah, no, see, that's that
narcissistic bullshit.
Exactly. It's that, and you know, and the downside is we've all dealt with people like that in our life. These people have this narcissistic mindset, these narcissistic tendencies where, you know, on one hand, you know, in front of people, when people are around, they want to build you up and elevate you. But then once that door is closed and nobody's around, then they go back onto focusing on beating you down, or, you know,
mentally and physically, bro.
And
mentally and physically.
Yeah. And then they make it like it's your fault and they've done nothing wrong. They still try to portray this image of being holier than thou or higher than mighty. You know, like my situation with my pops and everything like that, you know, I've made it very clear. I still love the man to death. He's my dad. You know, I tried for years and years and years to have a relationship with him. You know, we had some good times and stuff like that, but there was always that void there. And for whatever reason, you know, he finally crossed the line and I went off and you know, told him, you know, and
I honestly wish I had a choice, dude. I wish I had a choice if I loved him or not. I kind of don't have a choice, and that's fucked up because I have a dad that I know about. I have a donor. I don't know if I want to call him my dad because, you know, I was 4 years old on and presuming that I was caught up in the mix of a fucking love affair that my mom created.
Yeah.
So I don't know if all the beatings that I allegedly took were true or not. She says they are. He says they're not. And that goes back, like I said last week, the only abuse that I remember come from the dude she's still married to.
Exactly.
You know, so I wished I wished I knew. You know, I wish I had a choice to love somebody. You know, because I know who I would choose. You know, but
I mean, I don't think it's so much a matter of a choice. I mean, I love my dad.
I love him because he was there.
We,
you know,
we
I
love him
and made sure I was fed.
Yeah, you know, he wasn't always the best dad in the world, but you know, he definitely has his faults and his faults and stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing for me was the fact that he just won't admit to any of it.
Right.
And when it's brought up and thrown in his face, he'll still just deny the fuck out of it.
Right.
You know, it's like
there, dude.
You know, I don't think, you know. It's but you know, it was one of those moments where I said my piece.
Yep.
I spoke my truth and a weight was lifted. And you know, he's messaged me a couple random times, Merry Christmas or whatever. And then I'll just shoot a gift back at him, Merry Christmas. It's just a gift or whatever. You know, but there hasn't been any actual effort in any way, shape, or form. And you know, like I told Nikki, I was like, I'm not that same fucking little kid who, you know, dad promised we were gonna go do something, and then he doesn't show up, and now I'm sitting here crying in my room, waiting for him to come, and then he shows up a week or two later, and we do all this fun stuff, and it's like all's forgiven. No, like I can't do that anymore. You have to come to terms with the fact of, just like I had to come to terms with, and I still deal with this shit. I've not always been the best dad. I've made my mistakes, and I still beat myself up over them. But I've come to terms with them. I've admitted to them. I've apologized to it, and I've grown, and I've tried to be better. I don't want to go down that road again, and I won't go down that road again. I won't let it happen again. I won't let myself be so mentally fucked that I lose that vision. Like I said, it's tunnel vision. And I think a lot of people do that once they reach that certain point in life. They literally put those blinders on and just go through the motions. You literally are just going through the motions of day to day, in every aspect, whether it be work or at home or, if you're out with people or whatever, you're just going through the motions. It's almost like you're not even really there. Like your body's there, but your mind is somewhere else. I'm not gonna do that to myself again. I'm not gonna allow that to happen again. I'm not gonna let anybody else have that kind of control over me. And that's the other nice thing. I talk about, being an alcoholic and fighting those demons and fighting that monster. I still drink, but I have control.
Right. And you do.
I'm not losing control again like I used to. I mean, you remember me on Periscope, dude. It'd be 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and I'm 2.5 cases in, still fucking going.
Bro, you've gone from you've gone from this like you said, fucking 5 or 6, 12 packs a night, bro, to now you're what, 2 or 3 tonight so far?
I've had 5 beers tonight. I'm on my 5th beer. Saturday nights, I usually drink on Saturday nights, but it's Saturday night. I usually drink anywhere from 12 to 16 beers during a show, which is a lot well, not really. It's a 6-hour show, so it's like 2.5 beers an hour or something like that.
Right, yeah.
But,
dude, huge difference.
Yeah, and Nikki and I like to go out. Sometimes when we go to PA, we go to the local bars where she's hung out at all of her life, and we get fucking hammered. But my kids are here in Ohio with their mom. Her kids are grown, and we go out and we get hammered, but we have a good time. You know what I mean?
Fucking right.
But that's not every weekend. I mean, a couple weekends ago, we went out for Sunday Fun Day. I think I had
those are fun.
I've never done Sunday Fun Day. That was the other thing. Like she was blown away. She's like, "You've never had Sunday Fun Day?" I said, "You know what Sunday Fun Day is for me? It's sitting at home alone, playing video games or watching football. That's Sunday Fun Day. I've never gone out with my friends to do day drinking on a Sunday. I don't have a very big circle. I don't get invited anywhere with the few friends that I do have. So, and we went out, we went to brunch at like noon, and I didn't start drinking until after we ate. And then we got to the first bar, and I had, I think, 2 beers while we were there. But they had like a barcade in there, and then we went to another bar, and I think I had 2 or 3 beers there. And then we went to another bar, and I think I had 2 or 3 beers there. So throughout the entire day, I had like 9 beers at most. But I still had we still had a good time. It was a fun day. We got to hang out with a couple of I guess they're my friends too. But a lady she works with, her and her husband. Nikki and her have become pretty good friends, and we got to all go out. And a friend of mine, him and his wife joined us for a little while. It was just a fun day, and where before, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, by the time we left the first place, I would have been fucking hammered.
Right. Funny story, dude. Like, you know how I discovered Sunday Fun Day? I was still drinking heavy at the time. Me and Brandy had just got together. She was living up in Kentucky. You know, I was still real heavy OTR, you know.
Yeah.
And I come in and on a Friday and she told me like my dad's gonna be here tomorrow in the morning. I was like, oh shit. You know, and he opened up the fridge and seen 2 12-packs sitting in the fridge. He goes, whose is this? I said, that mine, I'm sorry. He's like, no, can I have one? I was like, yeah. No, you want one? Yeah, fuck it. Why not? It's only 11 a.m., you know? He's like, right? Perfect.
Yeah.
So anyway, he goes, we would get to talking and just getting a little bit loud and rowdy and I can't remember what the conversation was, but we was all in her kitchen and he looks at Brandy and he says, God damn it, Brandy, you have got my son-in-law right here. And little did I know, fucking 4.5 years later, I would actually be his son-in-law. But the first Sunday fun day after that, after he had said that, he says, let's go. I said, where are we going? He said, him and Brandy both said, don't know, let's go. You know, and that's how I discovered Sunday Fun Day.
No, my only experience with Sunday Fun Day was working as a bouncer at a little bar on campus. You know, and then I think we did like nickel PBRs on Sunday,
right?
And I was working. I froze up. Oh God, I froze up.
Yeah, you kind of flaked out there a second ago. It kind of sounded like. Remember that Powers movie where the chick head does this before it explodes and it makes that funny noise? That's what that made just a second ago.
You're right. But no, that was my experience. I was working. I was bouncing Sunday mornings, and that nickel PBRs or whatever. The fucking college kids would be hammered by noon, start drinking at like 10, and be hammered by noon because they're drinking nickel PBRs.
Oh, so you weren't a bouncer. You was a fucking babysitter.
Essentially, yeah, because this bar was on campus. So yeah, essentially, yeah, a little babysitter glick over here, but and I was like, on Sundays, and especially now, I mean, for me, and that was the other great thing that I did for me mentally, to kind of help me when we moved back to Ohio. I made the decision on Sundays. Sundays are my day.
Mm-hmm.
I unplug. I'm not on social media. I'm not really responding to too many messages unless it's an emergency. I don't mean to be rude, but Sundays are my day. I unplug, and I don't worry about podcast stuff now. I don't do anything. I'm just relaxing. I'm just hit that reset button and get ready for Monday. And I've told and I've recommended this for a lot of people. Just pick a day of the week where you can unplug and reset, because not everybody's schedules are the same. Not everybody's life is the same. I'm off on the weekends, so Sunday I have that opportunity to where I can just disconnect. What up, crackhead?
I just did a house match of my figures.
Mm-hmm.
It's where it says they start at the stairs, and once you throw your opponent off the stairs, then you can finally pin them out the match. But you could go all around the house.
Oh, nice.
I'm off like I'm to bed.
Are you going to bed? All right, love you. I'll see you in the night.
Dude, take it easy.
But like I was saying, Sunday. What's that?
Which one was that?
That's Cash. That's my youngest.
Fuck, dude, last time I saw him, he was little and had a fucking mohawk, bro.
Yeah, that was just the baby.
Yeah. God.
My oldest one, she was back here earlier. She was the one that was beating on him. She'll be 19 in fucking April. But no, so Sundays I just disconnect and I reset. And that's been, oh my God, dude, that's been amazing for my mindset and for me personally, it's been fantastic. To step away from social media, especially the last
holy shit. Bro,
Is that siren?
I'm sorry. Those I heard some background noise going on, so I accidentally muted my computer. I thought I had the damn mic muted here, but I have got about 6 packs of coyotes right outside my fucking bedroom window, just giving it hell, boy.
Nice.
Oh my god! I thought it was geese. I was like, wait a minute, dude. It's like fucking 10 o'clock at night. There ain't no geese out at 10 o'clock at night. So I hit the mute button and they're going fucking nuts. They're howling like crazy, dude.
Nice. But no, I mean for me personally, that's been amazing. And I've been doing that since I came back to Ohio. Especially now with everything with the podcast. You know, we're going on almost 3 years with the podcast, and
I know, dude.
And you know, I do so much on social media, and I do so much with the show where I can just take a day and just be like, nope, I'm not doing shit. I'm not talking to nobody. I'm not responding to Snapchat. I'm not responding to text messages. I'm not responding to Facebook, TikTok, any of that stuff. I'll catch you all on Monday, you know. But for today, it's my day, and it's been amazing ever since I started doing it, because all the stuff from the week before that like might be weighing on my mind or that I'm thinking about, or you know, whatever's going on with the pot, I unplug from it and I don't even think about it. And then come Monday morning, I'm refreshed and I'm ready to start the week all over again.
Yeah, even the good Lord took a break on Sunday, buddy.
Yeah,
On that
and the only reason I chose Sunday was because I'm off on the weekends. So, you know, Saturday
Friday's fucking go to bed, and then Saturday get up, and it's wide open Saturday, and doing all the shit with the kids and the family, and then Sunday's just relax at home with the family day, right?
And you know, like, you know, if Nikki and I happen to go out of town, we might do stuff on Sunday, or like where we went out last weekend and did Sunday fun day. My phone, it was in my pocket pretty much the entire day, outside of, you know, her and I take a couple pictures with each other and post it on Snapchat, or take a couple pictures of our drinks or whatever and post on Snapchat. But outside of that, my phone was in my pocket the whole day, and it's a good feeling to not worry about anything. Just enjoy the day. And I really do think that, you know, that would do wonder for a lot of people to take that one day, just one day a week, where you just unplug and go fishing, go swimming, go for walks, play video games, watch movies. You know, if Nikki and I are together on Sundays and we're not doing anything, we have a sushi date at the house. We go and get sushi from Kroger's. Kroger's has a actual sushi place inside of it, or where you order sushi from one of the local Japanese restaurants or Chinese restaurants or whatever. And we watch movies all day together. We lay on the couch and watch movies all day together.
Fucking right. That's what here lately. That's what it's been like.
Yeah, and we eat like $100 worth of sushi.
Fuck the shoot. Keep that shit. Look.
Yeah. Well, you know, and this is one of those things when you talk about previous relationships or you talk about past relationships, and this goes two ways. And you talk about how fucked up somebody can get your head and how twisted. I've never had sushi before. And my ex-wife, you know, like she used to go out for sushi with her friends all the time, and like her friends' husbands and stuff. And I never got invited because she was like,
a red flag.
Yeah, well, you know, Chris doesn't like sushi. Well, he's not going to eat it. He's going to be grumpy. And I was just like, all right, whatever. I'll stay at home with the kids. You go have fun with your friends, whatever the case. Well, when her and I split, I had a lady ask me if I wanted to go on a date one time. Once she knew I was single, and I was like, yeah, let's go. Where you want to go? And she's like, well, you know, I really like sushi. Have you ever had it? And I said, I don't know if I like it or not. I've never had sushi in my life. And she's like, I know the perfect place. And she's like, it's my treat. And I was like, oh, no, I got you. She said, no. This is your first time. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay. So we went to a sushi restaurant, and I fucking fell in love with sushi. I'm like, this is fucking amazing.
I tried it once. I almost puked the entire way, dude. But it's not my cup of tea. Nah, my fish got to be cooked, bro.
It was. I enjoyed it. And then I had a friend of mine who moved down to Charleston and became a roommate, and whatnot, and she likes sushi, so we would order sushi, every once in a while if we happen to both be home at the same time or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, I can't believe I've been missing out on this all these years because this crazy ass woman said I didn't like it. And I was just like, I was so beaten down mentally that I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I've never had it, but yeah, I don't like sushi,
but
that's
if it's anything like you, I don't want it. Pass.
Children. I shouldn't laugh at somebody.
Like what made the red flag for sushi, man. You got this piece of raw fish. Okay, then it's surrounded by rice and whatever else. That there tells me it's trying to cover up the taste of something. And it ain't gonna taste good.
I think it just depends on what you get. I like the tuna. I like the crab.
Would you nasty fucker? Tuna and crab. Why not?
Yeah. But I mean, they also put like the sauce in there, and there's cucumbers and the rice and whatever seaweed or kale. And seaweed's actually is really.
Now, don't get me wrong. I did like that sushi that didn't have sushi in it.
So you just like rice rolled up with cucumbers and sauce.
Yeah, it tasted much better. I had no problem swallowing that.
That's hey, my understanding. You have no problem swallowing it all.
Good thing neither one of us are that big.
No, but it was a nice new experience. But that was one of those things where you start to open up, and that you're starting to break out of that mindset and that that mental fuck that you're in, and start to experience new things. And that was cool. I mean, I got to do in the short period of time that I was in Charleston after we split. I got to do more in that short period of time than the 9.5 years that we were there and we were together.
How many did you smash?
No, just one. Well, I guess two, but
one a night or one an hour.
No. I wasn't out there. I was so focused on work.
Wrong smash, bro. Wrong smash. I'm talking this smash, bro.
Oh yeah, no. It was like one, maybe two. I think two.
In the same night.
Oh no. In the time that we were
damn, dude, you showing yeah. I'm trying to make you inner player come out, man. I know, man.
No, I got to be honest with you. I don't. And Jeff will tell you that that's not who I am in real life. In general, I'm not that guy who's out there just sticking my dick in anything and everything. But at the same time, I was so focused with work and and paying bills and everything like that, and trying to get once I realized the error of my ways, trying to get to the point where the kids wanted to be around me. And I was actually the house that I was renting, I was getting ready to buy. I was going to buy that house. So I mean, I had a lot on my plate. I did go on a couple dates and whatnot, and I'll say I didn't do anything with anybody. I think it was like one or two. I think it was like two women. But I mean, it wasn't like I was out there 2 or 3 a night or, two at the same time or anything like that. I just,
my question is with the trauma you have from that place, how, like, all focused in work and bullshit aside, how hard was it for you to not fall into that same routine, so to speak? How hard did the temptation hit you?
It was very hard, but and that's something that you guys had no idea, because I was still doing the Saturday night show and stuff like that. After I did it one night. What I did that one night after I got done on Periscope, and then the next Saturday I was right back at it again. But it was pretty hard. But at the same time, if this makes any sense, it was kind of easy once I had that eye-opening experience. It was like, okay, here's what I need to do, because my kids are right now the most important thing to me. And as much as I did not want to leave Charleston, as much as I miss Charleston, as much as I cannot wait to get back down to Charleston. You know, the most important thing in my life at that moment were my 3 kids, and it was like I got to get better for them.
Mm-hmm.
And when their mom said we're going back to Ohio, and I learned that I didn't have a snowball's chance in hell of fighting and getting the and being able to keep my kids in South Carolina, I literally gave up everything. I gave up everything I had. The good job, the great money, the house I was getting ready to buy, living in Charleston where I absolutely love. You know, I'm born and raised in Ohio, and Ohio's never felt like home to me. Down in Charleston, I felt like I was home. That was home. That is and was home to me. I gave up everything to come back to this fucking hellhole called Ohio to be with my kids and to make sure I could see my kids because we were doing 50-50 from almost Jump Street. And I put myself in a, you know, and kind of not a shitty situation. It was just starting over. You know what I mean? Like I already did this shit. I did this when I was 18 and now I'm a grown ass man and I'm doing it again. And that was kind of a kick in the dick, but it was at the end of the day, it was all worth it because now I've had the kids full time for almost 2 years now.
Boy.
Yeah. I've had the kids full time for almost 2 years now. Yeah, I went through some, I had a couple few
setbacks.
You know, I don't want to call them mistakes. You know, there's a part of me that wants to be like, yeah, I had a couple of mistakes with relationships, but they were a few lessons that I had to, you know, there were still a couple lessons I had to learn in life. And
you haven't found yourself yet. That's all.
So,
you just haven't found yourself.
Yeah. So, you know, a couple relationships that didn't work out the best. But you know, it was all a matter to get me to where I am today. And, you know, now I have a job with a company that I really like. I love the company I work for. I love my job. And, you know, I'm continuing to grow. You know, I went from that little 500 square foot apartment to now I've got a condo that, you know, we're renting it, but I got a little condo or townhouse, whatever you want to call it, which is like, you know, 3 times the size of what I had. And, you know, and we're progressively growing. And, you know, now I have a good relationship with an amazing woman and I have the kids here all the time. And, you know, they're enjoying life and we're getting to do things and go on vacation, go to PA, you know, go do things with the kids and stuff like that. So, you know, I look back at it and I'm like, man, I had all these great things in Charleston. If, from the outside looking in, I had a great job, a nice house, you know, a brand new car, you know, but at the same time, personally, I was in a very bad place. I was in a very dark place and I was a terrible person where today I'm not in as good as the place as I was there, but I'm a complete 180 version of a person as I was back then. So
and that's all that matters, bro.
Yeah, it's like, man, this fucking sucks, but I'm good now. So on the other hand, I'm good now and I'm in a good place and I'm happy. So, you know, giving up everything was the ultimate sacrifice that I had to make, which I'm okay with. And I know one day, once the kids get done with high school and stuff like that, you know, Nikki's down for it. She wants to move down south. She wants to be on the coast. And I'm like, all right, so I may get back to Charleston, or I may end up in Tampa, or I might end up in Galveston. I don't know. Those are my 3 choices. Number 1 being Charleston, number 2 being Tampa, and number 3 Galveston. So, and she's on board with it. And, you know, we'll figure out what we're going to do when we get there.
Yo, why don't you just have the best of both worlds, bro? Do what me and Brandy's going to do, man. You become empty nesters, sell off the house. With the money you get from the house, buy you an RV, bro, and just travel the country.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to travel. I mean, I do want to travel, but I'd also like to have that, you know, like anchor spot, so to say. And I would love for it to be back in Charleston, and you know, the kids would be able to come and visit whenever they want, and if they got kids, and and all that jazz. Or like Cash, he was born there. He wants to go back. He'd go back tomorrow. If I said, "Hey, buddy, we're going back to Charleston," man, he'd have his shit packed faster than anybody else in this house.
Hey, hell yeah. Yeah.
At the end of the day, he'd be like, "Let's fucking go, man. What are we waiting for?" He's already got his shit in the truck waiting on everybody else.
So, speaking of fucking
you need me for 2 seconds. All right, Haas, you're on your own. Talk away.
Oh, daddy. Oh. No, man. Oh, here we go. Oh, man, he done left me unattended. Ladies and gentlemen, I am now your host, Haas. Welcome to the shit show. This is the part of the show where it gets good, where you get to look at the most beautiful man on the show today. So now that it's my time to shine, now Chris, he's always been the guy. He's always worked underneath me, and he seems to do better work on bottom. But don't dare tell him I said that. I'll pay y'all each $1 million. I'll go straight Vince McMahon on this deal, man. I'll give each of you $1 million to shh. Don't tell him no. It's our little secret. I have an NDA in the link down there. We'll have the NDA. Y'all need to sign that, and I'll get you $1 million of cold hard cash. You don't have to work a day again in your life. I obviously don't know what the hell I'm doing, so we're just letting it rip. But I'm serious. He's coming, guys. Don't say nothing. This is our little secret now. Drop your cash apps and stuff in the comment section down there, and I'll see it after the show goes off the air, and we'll get you took care of. All right, I'm in real good with the Biden administration. I make it happen. Hillary Clinton's my right hand woman.
Will you shut up talking shit over there?
What the hell are you talking about? You know what? I should have just played some music.
No.
Dude, you fucked up. You've known me 11 years. Never leave me unattended, man, because I don't understand half of this shit that comes out of my mouth, bro. And you just said, you're on your own. Here we go, baby.
I should have just played music.
No, man, I wasn't too bad, man. I told
you think I learned? Yeah, I was gonna say, you think I learned my lesson from Jeff? Because if I'm like, Jeff, I'll be back in a minute. You're on your own. I come back and just like, so the brand new Mitsubishi Audi 45631 engine, blah, 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 blah. He's talking some bullshit about cars, or he's talking about movies that haven't been relevant for 30 years. So
that's the only time it was relevant, man. That's the last time relevant was a thing was 30 years ago, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. I'm damned if I do. I'm damned if I don't. When I leave any one of you knuckleheads to your own devices, like you can't carry on the conversation we're having. I come back and this Biden administration, you're Hillary's right finger man. I don't even know what that means, and I don't want to go into it.
Dude, what are you talking about, man? I didn't say none of that, bro.
You know we're live, and you know that this is recorded, right?
No, but it wasn't me. Haas didn't do shit. It was not Haas at all.
Mm.
You ought to look at that other grimy, sleazy son of a bitch that's on this show, too. Busted Rubber, that was probably his motherfucking ass. Always doing some shit to get me in fucking trouble, I swear to God. You know that me, myself, and Irene? Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Frank or Hank or whatever the hell his name is. Yeah, Haas, and you've got Busted Rubber. Oh yeah, dude. I told everybody to drop their Cash App, or I dropped your Cash App, and I told everybody if they sent you like a $5 donation on Cash App and whatever PayPal you use or whatever, that you would send them. You said I told them that you'd send them feet pics and beard pics and stuff like that. I was just trying to help promote the show the best way I know how.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's $5 for beard pics, it's $10 for feet pics, and $40 for used boxers.
So that link he's fixing to drop in the comment down there, go ahead and send him that $5. He's got them already.
I don't know if you guys want to see my weird feet, but yeah, no. And again, that's the other great thing about guys who have been through it. We use humor as a coping mechanism.
Oh, it's fun.
Even though I can have a real conversation with these guys. I can have a real conversation like Connor, who's been on the show we talked about last week.
Yeah, speaking of Connor, is he okay? Can you text him because he kind of dipped out and I ain't seen him since.
I think he was going to eat or something. Plus, his wife just got home. I'll mess. Yeah, we'll.
Oh, he was breaking him off a piece of that after work booty.
Very, very possible.
Yeah. Oh,
ain't no love like crippled love.
I don't make fun of the cripple. They can't stand up for themselves. What the fuck is wrong with?
He can stand up.
They ain't got a leg to stand on, bro. And you're gonna come at shots like that?
Nobody's off limits for me.
Right, man. I was like, I had to get silent, man, because I didn't know what else to say, man. I'm offended because I didn't get to say it.
No, but and like I said, I hope this. We don't know what we're doing. Let's be honest. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Dude, I'm just winging it, dude. Like that's busted rubber, dude. He just wings it, and I mix it in with Haas, man, and it just kind of clicks sometimes, and sometimes it's like fucking your sister. It just doesn't work.
Yeah,
unless you're from like Ohio.
You'd know more about that than I would. You're a Bama fan. Every time somebody yells "Roll Tide," a sister gets pregnant.
You better lock Nick up because I'm coming after her. Somebody's sister's getting pregnant.
Yeah, every time somebody screams "Roll Tide," Uncle Daddy knocks his granddaughter sister up.
Oh, Christ. Y'all motherfuckers, man. Y'all the reason I'm going to hell. I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, I'm the reason.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I'm the reason. You know what? Jump on the bus. I'll take full credit. Jump on board, buddy.
I will, but only if I'm allowed to be Eminem and you're Machine Gun Kelly. That's the only way that's ever going to work.
I'm Dr. Dre. You're Eminem. Deal with it.
Oh, okay. I got you. I can do that.
But Rude Awakening, we're not going to heaven and we're not going to hell. We actually have a sweet VIP spot right outside the pearly gates, couches and everything, where we get to annoy the hell out of St. Pete for eternity. So,
oh, that's good. It's going to be fun, though.
That's a whole thing. We've had that conversation. But, like I said, I don't know what the hell I'm doing when I'm talking about mental health. I'm going through the motions myself here, guys.
We just solely based on experiences and traumas that we've had.
I'm going through the motions myself. I'm working things out myself every day. But hopefully, this show will be somewhat enjoyable, somewhat educational, and at the least maybe help a couple people who are going through it. And like I said, primarily I think it's going to be Brian and I, but any of the guys that are out there that we know, or any of the guys that are watching this, if they wanted to jump up and conversate about things, obviously I do want to, as we progress to get a little bit better at this, I do want to hit actual topics like depression and anxiety and the panic attacks and kind of talk about those things specifically. Yeah, but right now, and I want to keep the focal point on sharing stories because like Haas shared his story, and there was people out there who went through it. And Brian, I learned a lot from Brian last week, and Brian and I have a very similar upbringing with our parents and where we were and where we ended up and everything like that. And that's, oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, I feel a disturbance in the force.
Speaking of mental trauma and mental problems, two of mine just walked back.
Blink twice if you're in danger.
Can I paint roll your ass back?
I said twice, bro. I don't know Morse code.
What?
Can I paint roll your ass crack with Nair?
Oh yeah.
And you wonder why I'm in.
Do it. Don't worry, it won't be very hairy long. I
What,
mean,
Cash?
it'll start a little hairy, but it'll get smoother as you go.
I don't have a lot of ass hair.
No, dude, she was referring to that ass on your face.
Oh, hell no.
No, I've been threatened with violence if I ever even trim my beard. No, but for real.
Can I paint roll your ass?
Haas, what's your therapist's name and number?
555-3731 extension 675, I think.
I need to set up a session.
I don't know if he can give you the help you need in that situation because I'm still looking for help in that situation myself because Lord,
He had his mom with the paint roller. I sent it to you on Snapchat. I took a video.
Much like the waxing of my bottom region,
Yes.
I'd really rather you just stay away from that area of my body. You know the demons I exercise from there.
Oh, come on, man. It'll make the picture so much better without them wild ass hairs around the hole. Come on.
I just
think of the OnlyFans, bro. The spicy.
I'm not showing my asshole on OnlyFans.
I mean, but
why not, dude? I would totally call you Mike Honcho.
There.
Mike Honcho.
All right, I'm done.
I'm not helping, am I?
No. Why would you? Can I narrow your asshole?
Hey, I wasn't helping, but it worked. You're welcome.
Again.
I was just totally joking. I hope you know that.
She wasn't. I hope you know that.
Oh shit!
She really wants to nair my ass. She's watching 90 Day Fiance.
Oh Jesus Christ! I'm sorry.
And this dude was out there with paint rollers and paintbrushes. Like he's a hairy little man, and he was like painting Nair on his body. He's like, I got a date tonight, and I want to get rid of all this hair. And apparently, his mom used the paint roller on his ass.
Nair. Are you sure it wasn't Catfish Cooley?
No, it was Nair.
No, was it Catfish Cooley? Was that the guy she's watching?
Oh no, she's watching No Neck Ed.
Oh, I don't know who the fuck that is.
Yeah, fucking.
Yeah, it's one of those chick flicks now.
Oh my god.
It's okay, bro. It's okay though. With your anxiety, I'm fixing to smoke a joint for you. It's gonna be okay. Just grab you a brown paper bag. Pretend it's. I mean, just grab a brown paper bag and breathe in and out real heavily into that. It'll be okay.
Can I just get a plastic bag and put it around my head and tie it off?
Plastic bag, bro. We're not trying to win the Darwin Award. We're trying to work through this mental situation you're having.
You know what? You guys are much better off without me right now. Go ahead and take this plastic bag.
No, there ain't none of that shit. If I gotta suffer through the bullshit, so do you, bro. This ain't no get out of life free. Not today, Satan. If I gotta live with the torment and the bullshit, you do too.
Yeah, this is the random. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It cracks me up.
It does too, man.
It's just the complete and total utter random shit that comes from, like,
oh Jesus,
the whole shrimp job thing, the toe sucking thing came from one of them damn reality dating shows that she watches. I think it might have been 90 Day Fiance. I don't know.
I think it's okay, man. I think the point that you need to start worrying about what they're watching is when they come to you with some RuPaul Drag Race bullshit.
I would much rather them watch RuPaul than 90 Day Fiance or Love is Blind or Love Island or all those.
Love is Blind. Wasn't that Flavor Flav show? Because you've got to be a blind bitch if you gonna love something like that, let alone voluntarily let it stick its dick inside of you.
I don't, man, alive.
Mental health to that.
It helps.
Talk about having mental problems.
I know, right? Take away reality TV and 90% of mental problems will go away. Take away Joe Biden and the rest of it will go away too. Sorry, that's the first, last, and only time I get political on this fucking thing.
Well, you know, I understand the draw to reality television because it is an escape from reality, and at the same time, I could watch that and go, yeah, my life's pretty shit right now, but at least I'm not these assholes.
Right. That's what that's my Brandy. She's into sister wives, and I don't much care for it. But now that she's like, she has to have some. She ain't got that chick that she can constantly watch with. So I'm kind of that backboard for the sister wives shit. I don't much care for it, but the best part about that whole show is now this dude went from having like 6 wives to now he don't have, or 4 wives to he only has 1, and he allegedly went behind the other one's back and legally married the one he's still with.
No, you are so wrong.
Hey, it sounds like my story. Let me tell it.
This is my story, woman.
Let me tell it. It's the only way the show sounds good to me. Just let me tell it my way, man. Like,
this is my reality. Damn it!
3 of them left him in the same year, and one just got remarried.
This is the men's mental health show. We're speaking our truth. Don't change it up with your lies and your blasphemy.
And here I was there doing it with you.
No, you know.
I smoke the blunt. I smoke the blunt. You have the joint.
No.
See, she can keep the little piddly thing. I got Mac Daddy right here.
And you're not smoking it right now.
I'm not smoking it right now.
I don't care if you smoke it right now. You can.
I do because I'm not getting my ass kicked. I have to live with this. She knows where I sleep, bro.
You know the rules. Puff, puff, give.
Don't bogart it. Give me a blow to the back of the fucking head.
Well,
then I've go from that to an episode of Snapped, like that.
At least you got a couple puffs out of it, so I mean it'll help with the pain.
It'll only hurt for a second.
Yeah, you better hotbox the shit out of that shit. We do not condone domestic violence on Nonsensical Nonsense.
If you have a problem with it, then you probably should remove yourself from this situation and take your candy ass back to the kitchen where you belong.
We've just spent almost 3 hours talking about men's mental health and dealing with stuff, and now all of a sudden, wonder why Haas is depressed and has anxiety. His wife beats him.
If you only knew, bro. Man, I have to lie and tell this bitch I'm Kuta Kinte, so I stopped getting the whip to the back, bro.
Oh my God, you're so bullshit.
And then I'm forced to work or I get thrown in the fucking pit with a bottle of lotion.
Yeah.
And the end of a water hose.
Blink twice if you're in danger. I believe that's what you said to me.
I ended up with both the blunt and the joint. Here.
The 2 things.
Bogart it. Damn it.
That I've got.
Robert!
Oh shit!
This is the positive side. This is the good side. This is 2 broken ass men that can still find joy in life and still have a good time and still laugh and joke. So, you know, obviously,
and give you motherfuckers the privilege of joining us. No, I hate to say it like that. Fuck y'all. I appreciate the fuck out of every one of you that's here.
Yeah, you know, it's we can. We're proof at the end of the day that there's light at the end of the tunnel, man. No matter how bad it is.
Just hope and pray that tunnel's not got a pair of railroad tracks in the center of it, bro, because that's a bad situation.
And if there is a pair of railroads, hope some guy with a skinny mustache that laughs like doesn't show up in the
Where's Will Smith?
Yeah, where's Will Smith?
Hey, his street cred went up with me. Anybody's gonna walk up in front of a worldwide audience and bitch slap the fuck out of somebody.
Yeah, but the only reason he did it was because he got punked out by his wife who's banging his son's friend. I mean, it wasn't like he did it to truly defend his honor or defend her honor, because Chris Rock was making jokes and Will Smith was down there laughing until Jada looked at him and she was like, "Really, really, you're gonna let him get away with that? That's why I fucked our son's friend." And he was like, "Okay." You talk about a man that's mentally broken. I would love to sit down and conversate with Will Smith, like a real conversation, without like.
I would too. My very first question would be like, "What's it like fucking your brother or your son, your daughter's son?" I mean, is it true you sold your butthole to the elite to get where you're at? I'll be a dick about it, man. Like seriously.
Well,
no,
damn,
I could. So that's gonna piss some people off. Sorry. No, I'm not.
No,
that awkward silence, man.
I was just gonna let you stew in that comment.
You think that's the nastiest thing that I've stewed in, bro? You ought to hear the shit that I keep inside my head.
My filter got broke. I just say what I say and kind of run with it at the end of the day. But
either way, I'm not gonna lose no sleep at night over it. Absolutely not.
I don't know. I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I talk about it, and the more I look back on it, like this is like I said, don't get me wrong. I still have my days. I still have my moments and stuff like that. But where I am in life right now, this is the clearest I've ever been. Mentally, this is the healthiest I've ever been in my entire fucking life. And, I just love me or hate me. I don't care. I'm not losing sleep over anything. The show is, is satire. It is comedy based. They're fucking jokes. Like Jeff says, it's a joke, not a dick. Don't take it so hard.
And if it does just move right along, it's just as easy to move right along. If it ain't your cup of tea, eventually one day it will be your cup of tea and we'll still be here. They'll be in the same you know the name of the show, assholes.
Nonsensical nonsense. No,
hard.
If you have haters, then you're doing something right. And exactly. we've been hated on, we've been shit on, we've been boycotted twice now. Like, now granted, we've been boycotted by people who don't matter and never will matter at the end of the day. But nonetheless, we've been boycotted, we've been hated, we've been shit on, and here we're still here. We're still here. We're still doing our show. We're still having fun.
And we're still living our lives to the fullest. While you're just sitting there miserable and upset and just completely whatever the fuck you want to call it because of some actions that you did. You know?
And I'll be 100% honest with you. 6-7 years ago, I 100% would have lost sleep. I would have been in my head because I said something that hurt, that somebody didn't like or that other people didn't like. I would have been 100% in my head and bothered by it until I made it right. And
I learned a lot of things the easy way, and the easiest thing that I taught myself that I learned: say the stuff that pisses people off, because it does just that. It pisses them off. And eventually, after being pissed off over something said for so long, you begin to think about it, and then you realize, oh, Jesus Christ, the dude was right. And then look how ignorant you look.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I learned. And I have seen a lot of ignorant. I've seen a lot of ignorant people, and I'm not saying ignorant as in the hard R or nothing, the big R word that we're not going to say. Ignorant as is not intelligent. I've seen people that come back and ate the proverbial crow. You were right. I'm sorry. You know.
Well,
Like,
and that's the joy of, you know, people that don't like us and quote unquote have boycotted us. They're still here every show. They still listen every show. They still watch every show. They still watch the replays. They still listen to the replays. So at the end of the day, what are you doing?
mm-hmm.
You're still here. So, you know, and that's why I said, you know, there wasn't once upon a time, yeah, you know, it would bother me.
Why the hell a grudge motherfucker, bro?
Yeah, you know, it would bother me. You know, it would bother me a lot, but that was just because I was so fucking bent and broken and everything else mentally that it was just I couldn't handle. Now it's like still here doing my thing at the end of the day, and the people who like it are here, and that's all that matters. If you don't like it, why watch? You know, I don't watch stuff I don't like. I mean, outside of like trash reality television, but
I mean, we don't need you to tell us in your subtle coded, whatever the fuck you want to call it, candy coated bullshit comments to know that, you know, you ain't serious. We don't need that bullshit. You know, we know just by the comment, you know, you ain't for here, you know. Come back when you're ready.
We ain't everybody's cup of tea.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we're not everybody's cup of tea until a certain somebody needs that cup of tea that nobody else has. No. Well, you can do is stay positive and keep moving forward, right? Don't worry about the haters. They'll eventually come back around. I mean, I did. I trolled the fuck out of you.
I mean, you tried to.
Tried. And I was also up front with you. I was just like herpes, bro. I wasn't gonna go away, and I never did. I took a vacation with all the jackoffs, and I had to whoop all their asses, and I made the trip back. Had no more ass to whoop, so I come back to get some bubble gum.
Well, joke's on you. I'm all out of bubble gum.
Mm-hmm. Just chewed my last piece.
Yep.
Oh. But it's been a great fucking 10 years, dude.
It's been an interesting 10 years for sure.
I don't think I've heard so much about your penis. I've heard more about that than I care to ever want to hear about. Which is like not at all, but I do know because of what you told me, I ain't got nothing to fucking worry about because, you know, I'm still bigger than you on soft.
Nah, it has been an interesting 10, and it's crazy how life works, and you know how life puts certain people in your path, and you know you either become friends or family. You know, like I consider you family, Jeff family, Connor's family. You know, there's guys like that. You know, Cam, who pops in from time to time. I've known Cam for years. You know, there's other guys that we met playing video games. It's in our little circle, the five of us and their family. At this point, we've known each other for almost 15 years, and you know, it's funny the people that come into your life and they're put there to create a bond or a friendship that you didn't know that you needed. Or you have people that are put in your life that, you know, they're solely there for a lesson.
Oh boy, them were some bitch ass lessons, boy. Yeah. Or some of the lessons I thought there was no coming back from. I ain't even gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. Or you come across somebody in your path where you start out not liking each other and having issues, and then as you progress down that road, you guys become friends. I mean, that's happened just recently to me with somebody, and I do consider her a friend, and you know, we didn't start out that way, and you know, over the last several months or whatever, we've become pretty good friends and realized that, you know, the bullshit that happened in the past was not necessarily her fault or my fault. It was just a narrative that was fed to us by fake people that some consider friends and some just never didn't really care for it. And once they showed their true colors, you were able to form a friendship. So, it's interesting. And you're one of those people that came into my life when it was like, man, I just want to stab this motherfucker in the head. But then as we progress, we became friends, and I consider you a brother. I consider you guys family.
It's funny, man. It's great.
And
That I'd have been where I'm at right now 10 years ago. I'd have never known, dude. And how good I fucking feel. How good I'm not being conceited or getting a big ego, but I look great. I can look at myself in this camera now, and I don't see scratch. I don't see worthless. I don't see Jesus. You're fucking disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't quite see the beauty yet, but I definitely don't see this. I'm getting a lot more comfortable in my skin in the past 29 days alone when I started this journey, when I said what I said. And that was another big reason I'd done that on Facebook, is because they don't, number one, they didn't want to accept and handle what I had to say. They wouldn't have listened. There probably would have been a fist fight started.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want none of that. I didn't want him to say nothing. I didn't want him to look at me. I didn't want nothing. I just wanted this. I have something to say, and that means you sit down, shut the fuck up, and listen to what I have to say. What you say means nothing. I don't want no comments. I want read, and that was that. I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to see him. I don't nothing. I'm to the point where I drive by their house. I drive by their house frequently, and it's to the point where I'd go from driving and looking at checking the house out to now I just kind of drive by their house and act like it just look through it like it don't fucking exist. And it has been in just 29 days. This has been the best year mentally that I have had that I can, without a shadow of a doubt, tell you since the age of 14 years old. Without a shadow, this is the best year I have had since 2003.
And that's the big thing, man. Is that burden and that weight and those quote unquote chains that hold you down. You're breaking free. You're dropping those weights off of your shoulder, so you're gonna feel better. You're gonna notice that change and see that. And again, I mean that's huge. I mean that's the biggest thing. That's a monster step to take at the end of the day.
Yeah, and it's fucking amazing. Like I don't. It's almost me doing what I do extracurricular. It's almost now just recreational, so to speak. I don't. I mean, ever since I said what I said 29 days ago, I feel like a completely different person.
Mm-hmm.
I look like a completely different person in my own eyes. That you can't put a feeling on that. It's fucking great. And since I realized who I was, and I don't look like the same person I had beaten into my head, now I felt that a lot of people genuinely wanted to be around me, by choice. But looking at myself, I didn't look the way that I felt. But since I said that, the toxicity's gone, the anxiety, it's all of those basically feel like they've gone away, and it's great. I'm gonna still keep taking my prescription medicine just to be safe, but I mean, I don't even get concerned when I start running out, but it's great, I feel like I can finally like be me and not raise my kids the way I was raised, if that makes sense. I'm not saying like hurt them in any kind of way, but the fear of growing up knowing what I have wrong with me now and trying to teach them while being the way that I am, uh, it scares me that because I know that before a lot of my episodes, it scared them, and the whole time from a very young age, I tried to tell them, look, there's something wrong with me, you know, do do everything you can to just uh not let it bother you. I know it's going to be hard,
Mhm.
but I'm trying to teach you how to live with something that's with something that somebody like me got, and I don't know how to live with it. I don't want you to be scared. I'm trying to teach you how, what signs to look for, how to handle when I get into my moods, and not scare them.
Mhm.
Ever since I got that, man, it's like the kids don't seem near as iffy.
Yeah.
Randy don't seem near as iffy. I don't feel near as iffy. It's great, dude. It really is.
Yeah, it's all those things like I keep saying, and I'll probably say this, as we progress, every episode is it's a key phrase. You have control. You have ultimately at the end of the day, you have control, man. You gained control back. What used to have power over you no longer has any power over you.
Nope, and
And
it don't. And as much it pissed me off. It pissed me off. It caused a lot of unnecessary fights. But she started it, and I'm glad she did.
Mhm.
It it's funny. She bitched about it years and years and years, and she's right here. I'm not going to say nothing behind her back that I wouldn't say to her face. Uh, Years and years, she wouldn't say nothing. She wouldn't say nothing. But we get home and I'd bam it all over,
Mhm.
and that in return would piss me off because that's my family. That's what you're supposed to do. Well, and then after some, I started looking, and I'm glad she did that because now I feel better.
Yeah.
I don't have near as many issues sleeping. I don't have near as many issues communicating my feelings like I did before. It's still hard, but it's a hell of a lot better.
Exactly.
And what I can't explain, she's picked up. She's really good at reading, and she reads me, and she picks up on the shit that I don't.
Mhm. Like I said, that goes back to that having a partner, having and I want to steal this. I'm going to steal this from Connor, but Connor calls his wife a warrior woman.
Or a
You
woman.
you have that warrior woman beside you that's willing to go through the ups and downs and the trials and tribulations and the this and the that, and to stand by your side, realizes that you're going through things and whatnot. And that's huge.
I've done some fucked up shit, dude.
Yeah,
The most fucked up thing I did was, man, I was full manic, and I woke up one morning just full manic. Drove about 3 hours, and uh, she called me. I was up in West Virginia, uh, going up 64 right there across that big bridge. And about the time she
Mhm.
called me, I was like, she said, "Hey, honey, what's up?" I said, the only thing I said to her was, "Get on Google." I said, "Google Charleston Bridge, West Virginia." And she said, okay. And she pulled up her computer and Googled it. And she said, oh, that's beautiful. I said, yeah, I'm fixing to drive my truck right off of it.
And then he hung up the phone.
And then I hung up the phone.
That's not the most fucked up thing you've done.
That was probably, that I recollect, the most vile.
Mm-hmm.
And wouldn't answer the phone for hours. So I called his boss and made his boss GPS the truck.
And then he proceeded to call me and tell me he said, deliver that load and go home.
Mm-hmm.
Go home and do not come back until you feel better. And he hung up the phone.
Right.
And that motherfucker texted me every day. Are you okay? Is there anything you need? Do you need some money for food?
The kid's good. The wife good.
Like, this dude was a scumbag, but he took care of me. He looked out for my safety over his dollar. And that went a long way with me. A lot of people say a lot of things. He's a fucked up person. He really is. But the fact that he put my safety above his dollar spoke volumes to me, and that's what mattered.
Well, you know, he could be a lot of things, but when push came to shove, and I think that's where you find people that you can value and you can trust like that, no matter who they are as a person. I mean, I've got shit because, you know, I call you a friend. You know, I've got help, but I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's like, you know what? He might be a lot of things, but I guarantee if I called this man in the middle of the night and said I needed him, he'd be here.
No questions asked.
You know, one of my best friends growing up, him and I have known each other pretty much our whole lives. He's a goddamn, he's a fucking scumbag of all scumbags. The dude's fucking garbage, you know, but I love him to death. He's like a brother to me. We've been friends our entire life. I know who he is as a person, but I also know if I called him tonight and said, hey man, I got this, that, or the other thing going on, he would drop every fucking thing he was doing. He lives 20 minutes from here. He'd be here in 10. Or if I called him and said, hey man, I you know, got some shit going on. I really need a hand. He'd be here. You know, if I needed $20 and it was his last $20, I know he would give it to me without even a thought, or vice versa. So, you know, people say whatever they want to say about a person, but if you know who they are deep down, and if they're the type of motherfucker that's gonna be there when you're at your lowest or when you need something, that's the type of motherfucker I want around. I don't give a damn about his personal life and his personal decisions. I'll be the first one to tell him he's a goddamn scumbag. And he knows that because I have. But, you know, it speaks volume of a person, regardless of what anybody else thinks about them, that if they consider you a friend or they like you as a person, you know, there's no limit to what they would do. Or, you know, I'm that type of person with the people that I consider friends. If you need me and I can be there, or I can, you know, easiest thing I can do is answer a phone. I might not answer it in the middle, you know, I might not get it on the first ring, but if I happen to wake up and I get a phone call, 2 phone calls, and I miss them both, and a text message, hey man, what's going on? I need to talk. You know what? I'm gonna get up in the middle of the night and I'm gonna reach out and be like, hey, everything all right? What's going on? What's the deal? You know, like, what's up? You know,
and that's
my responsibility. I'm gonna do whatever I can to help them.
Exactly what you explained, man. You know who the motherfucker is. If you say, hey, I need you, you gonna be there. You know, I catch a lot of slack for being people's friends that, you know, but the fact of the matter is I'm their friend, I'm not yours. And judging on what you said, there's a reason why I'm not your friend. That's why I wouldn't do it for you. Because if you were a true person, you wouldn't judge another person's situation before knowing their story, you know?
Mm-hmm. There's a reason why we are where we are.
Mm-hmm.
But
Jesus Christ. Hey, I don't mean to interrupt the show, but look who just kind of popped up over here in the chat. I ain't seen that guy in a while.
What up, man? No, actually, I was getting ready to interrupt the show because we got to wrap this bad boy up. What up, Chris? Yeah, Chris pops in all the time, man. Chris Chris pops in during the show, says what's up, and then he dips out.
Yeah, I don't think that dude's seen the new me.
Damn it.
Me, you know. He just knew that douchey motherfucker that just didn't like nobody, you know.
Yeah, there's a couple of Periscope OGs.
Don't start that shit.
I walked in mid conversation.
Oh, she just pushed my gang. Chris, like, I don't see shit.
That would stomp your ass.
He's like, I don't want to see this ass whooping this dude's about to get, boy. Oh, Chris is like, I'm gone. He's like, I got to run to my safe place real quick. He's like, no, motherfucker, I'll be right back. I just had to grab a beer. The show, I didn't want to miss the show.
But yeah, there's a couple of OG Periscopers who still pop in on the show from time to time. Chris comes in, Krista comes in. Darren, Mark's been around since forever and a day. But yeah, I mean, there's still a few of those Periscope OGs that show up on the show and jump in the chat from time to time.
And it's still great to see them, no matter what their opinion of me was or my opinion of them. The fact that they're still here to this day, it's really good to see them, regardless.
Mm-hmm. Those are my OGs, man.
They get to see the people grown up, so to speak. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. But
the new us, not the untreated, whatever you want to call it, that we had going on inside of our heads.
Get out of the shower later.
The mess. Mess.
Yes, the shit shows.
Exactly.
This day, man, just even in there, it's still good seeing them pop up, because I remember, back in the day they were there. At our lowest they were there, and here we are, not at our highest, but higher than what we were, and they're still here.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. As a matter of fact, I was on live earlier before I got the boot, and Jake Dunn come in and spoke with me for a little bit.
He's still an asshole.
Probably feels the same about you.
Oh yeah, no, him and I were live together on TikTok a couple weeks ago. He was in here on the broadcast or on the podcast, and I went live on TikTok, and he jumped in there and he was live with me, and we were still fussing and fighting because he's still a jackass and still doesn't know anything about sports. But
I watch the motherfucker. Still talking shit. I hear you talking shit, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm waiting on it.
Sensor's gonna go off.
Dude, who the fuck is it? Who is playing in the Super Bowl? 49ers and Kansas City?
Yeah, 49ers and Chiefs. I'm going 49ers.
Oh, I bet Jeff is happy.
Gang, Niner gang.
Damn, I don't know, because I don't give a damn about either one of these teams. Fuck them both. I hope they both lose, if that's possible.
Yeah, needs to win just because of Jeff.
Yeah, R.I.P. baby. Another good one took too soon.
Absolutely. But like I said, however, I do need to wrap this show up because it is Monday.
I gotta go. I got the munchies, and I'm kind of horny. I'm gonna go eat and rub the easy one off, and probably go to bed.
Nice. Nope. I'm gonna go eat and probably be forced to watch 90 Day Fiance and sit there in absolute
misery.
No, just like bewilderment, because that's how I watch those shows. Just like,
hey, you want to know how I watch those kind of shows with Brandy?
He goes to sleep or he puts in headphones.
I put my headphones in, turn on TikTok, and I just scroll through TikTok so she can see. I pretend. Are you watching this? Yeah. What happened? That bitch is leaving.
Yeah. I'm usually eating and playing a game on TMI house.
Hey, don't act like you're not gonna go to the bathroom and get you a cheap thrill when you're taking a deuce, okay? I read you like a book, Mr. Chris.
Nice.
I think that's gross, man. Not only are you gonna masturbate to me while you're taking a shit, I also masturbate to myself while I'm taking a shit. What's up? How's that? Okay, well, let's wrap this fucking thing up before this thing goes any further off the goddamn rails, okay?
No, that's one way to wrap a show. No. I do appreciate y'all hanging out. I appreciate you guys checking out the show, replay viewers. Thank you guys. If you're not already, go ahead and check out the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. We do the show live every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturdays on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. And if you miss us live or you can't watch us live, well, you can listen to us anytime, any place, wherever you listen to podcasts at, all at Nonsensical Nonsense Podcast. Or you can head on over to the old bio link at right down there at the bottom of your screen. There you go. bio.link/nonsensical nonsense. All those links are there. You guys can find us relatively easy. Also, in all of our social medias in the bios or pinned to the top is that link as well. So make sure you guys are giving us a follow and give us a share if you'd be so kind. You're also going to find links to our sponsors. Speaking of our sponsors, I'm going to take a time real quick to shout them out. First and foremost, I spoke on them earlier with W Energy. Are you tired of those big energy drinks? They're way overpriced. If you have too many of them, they're going to leave you with jitters. And not to mention the fact that usually a half hour to an hour after you have one of those drinks, you're crashing and you need another one. So that leads to the jitters. Well, we got an answer for you, and that's W. W Energy is a powdered energy drink. You simply mix it with some water, and you're ready to go. It's going to get you focused and energized for the day ahead of you. No crash, no jitter. Simply go to w.gg. Place your order. Use our promo code at checkout. Words are hard. We're going to save you some money. Not only that, but you also need to make sure you're properly hydrated as well, because this crazy life, a lot of times we don't have time to properly hydrate. Sometimes we think water is going to be enough. Sometimes we're going to the gas station and grabbing those overpriced sports drinks that have all kinds of bad shit in them for you and don't really hydrate you. Well, I got the answer for you, and that's Liquid IV. Liquid IV, 16 ounces of water, one packet. It's going to hydrate you 2 times faster than water alone. It's got 3 times the electrolytes of those leading sports drinks, and it's got your 5 essential vitamins in it that we all need. Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. LiquidIV.com. Use our promo code Words Are Hard. You're going to get 20% off your entire order when you shop Better Hydration today. That is LiquidIV.com. Make sure you use our promo code at checkout. Words Are Hard. Get that 20% discount. Got our guys out of the way. Got our shout outs out of the way. We're going to wrap this show up. There's only one thing left to do. We've got to hit the music. And I want to do a little Chase Beckham with 23. And Hoss, if you can hang out just throughout the song, and then right before we sign off, if you want to leave anybody with any words of parting wisdom or a quote or anything like that, feel free to hang out till the song's over, and we can drop that and then get the hell out of here. So here's Chase Beckham with 23.
Simple as my mama said when I was very young. She told me not to worry, son, one day you'll be someone. But here I am at 21, as loaded as a stagecoach shotgun. I'm sorry, mama, please don't look at me. When I got to Oklahoma, I was 17. My papa taught me how to work, and Lord, he was mean. Working all day in that August heat, and he taught me how to fish. My uncle taught me how to drink. Well, I went to California and I had me a band, and we played in all the bars in all the southern lands. We played all night and we drank for free, all of my boys and me. Now I'm 23 and there ain't nobody who can drink it like me. Soon I'll be 24 and the Lord knows that I can't drink no more. I know I should have taken it slow. It's not the way that my life goes. Now I know. When you're passed out on the floor, you're sober by 24. Well, I had a girl who loved me the whole damn time, and I drank my whiskey and she drank wine. Soon my bottle was too much to comfort me. Yeah, we'd sit on the river and we'd fish all day, and we'd drive across the country, let the radio play. 7 damn years I never thought she'd leave. Now I'm 23 and there ain't nobody who can drink it like me. Soon I'll be 24 and the Lord knows that I can't drink no more. I know I should have taken it slow. It's not the way that my life goes. Lord, I know. When you're passed out on the floor, you're sober by 24. Simple as my mama said when I was very young. She told me not to worry, son, one day you'll be someone. But here I am at 21, as loaded as a stagecoach shotgun. I'm sorry, mama, please don't look at me.
Yes, sir. A little Chase Beckham with 23. Check him out wherever you stream music and on all social media at Chase Beckham. Go show this young and up and comer some love.
Man,
with that being said, we're gonna wrap this fucking train up. We're pulling into the train station, ladies and gentlemen. Nonsensical Nonsense will be back Wednesday night with a brand new episode of Nonsensical Nonsense. Back to our normal fucking bullshit and shenanigans as usual. Appreciate y'all hanging out. Appreciate y'all listening. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Until Wednesday, Haas, what would you like to leave the people with?
Man. I don't know where to start, but I'll just go ahead. I just thank you guys. You help me in ways that you'll never understand. And with that, if anybody hasn't told you yet, you matter. You know, whatever you're going through is just a storm. You're not alone. If you can't ride that storm out alone, reach out for someone, get some help. Don't make a permanent solution over a temporary problem. Know you're loved and you're cared about, and you do matter no matter what. And that's about all I got. Next week. Thank you guys for having me. Love every one of you. If you need anything, reach out to somebody. Don't keep it in. Don't become a statistic. Just stay strong. Reach out if you need the help.
Exactly. 100%. Now, I told you guys, for Mondays, I'm going to do away with the normal. Don't ever forget, 5 simple letters at the end of the day, WWNND. what would nonsensical nonsense do? But for this show on Monday night, I do want to say one thing. Mental health is not a destination, but a process. It's about how you drive and not where you're going. Be good or be good at it. Hoss, love you, brother. Appreciate you coming on here. Appreciate you hanging out again.
I love you more, bro. If you need anything, no matter what, you know what to do.
Hey, same goes to you, man.
I love you. I'll see y'all next week, man.
Love you, brother. I'll see you Monday. Deuces.